Okay. We got a mic check here. Good morning, people. Good morning, good morning. Todd, good morning. Dean, good morning. Cyclonic, good morning. Alleginian, good morning. Dilson Strader, good to see you. Good morning. Happy Feel Good, good morning. Andre. Tony. Andre's in university today, so he's just going to watch. Brett, good morning. Good morning. Sorry, guys, I had a little bit of crazy morning today. I may have to leave here in just a minute for just a bit. The people that take my son to school, sometimes they just don't show up and they don't text or tell or any call or anything, so he's just sitting here waiting and they don't come and get him. So just the joys of being a father and having a bunch of kids. We have, between my wife and I, we have 7 kids altogether, and before you freak out and think we're like polygamist or something weird, we're hers, mine, and ours family. Just how it worked out. Excuse me. Okay, so I jumped in this trade earlier, and then I got a little bit sidetracked with that whole scenario. So let's see where we're at here. Looking at our 1 hour chart. Okay, it is a downtrend day so far. This next level down. Okay, so here's the thing I'm thinking on. Fridays, any of you guys traded for any length of time, Fridays are usually trend days. Most of the time they're trend days. So once we establish a trend, we're going to ride that trend most of the day, I'll bet you. I'd say that's 80% of Fridays. Good morning, Brett. How are you, man? Good to see you guys. Everybody, thank you for being here. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you being here. The mic should sound quite a bit better to you today. I had a Zoom call I had to do the other day, and I added a camera to my setup, and it's about a foot from where my regular mic is. Well, when I did that, it changed the microphone to that camera without me knowing. So what I can see on my display screen is what I'm talking into right now, but the setting was actually changed to that camera. That's why my camera or my audio was so quiet the last couple of days, and I didn't discover that till yesterday, so apologize for that, guys. I posted the video. I'm like, man, that's really quiet. But when I'm looking at it and I can hear it in my headset, it sounds really good. So I was confused there for a bit. This should sound really good, though. Somebody let me know if you can hear me good. But this should sound really good today. This should be the way it should be. This should be how it should be. So, okay. I did see. I didn't take the. Let's see. Okay, we're going to watch for just a sec here. We're at a resistance. I'd like to see, before I do anything, I want to see this resistance break. This resistance order block. It's a really strong one in 5 minute, really strong one in 3 minute. Let me tell my son goodbye. Hang on. All right, cool. That was the people that get my son. Sometimes they just don't show, and then we have to scramble to get him to school. So, all right. But yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm glad to be here. Let's end this week strong. We had a good day yesterday. I was like 400 down, and I ended up at 500. My daily profit trigger canceled right after the stream. We dropped pretty hard, and I ended up getting all the way to the profit trigger. So I shut it off after that. It was good. It was good, but I am excited today. Let us all get some wins to end the week. Nothing better than when you hit your daily profit trigger on a Friday, and you can just shut it down, have a great weekend, and recharge your batteries. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, who's got some trades going? What's you guys working on today? Who's using the metrics and having good success? I'd like to know that. I wanted to talk about that a little bit today. I've been in contact with some people since I've been doing this video series and kind of expanding my channel. You guys may start seeing some ads for my channel. I've been running some Google ads. I have a agency helping me with some Google ads to spread my channel word a little bit. I'd like to grow it just a little bit. I don't want it to get too big. I'm not looking to be Patrick Weiland or one of the bigger channels, right? But I do want to grow it a little bit. I'm almost about a third the way to monetized, which would be good. Just to make a little extra on the side. Help pay for channel expenses too, internet and things like that. Running ads are kind of expensive. So, but since I've been doing that, the reason I brought that up is you may be starting to see some ads, but I'm getting more people messaging me and directly and being privately kind of thing. And a lot of people are having a hard time using the metrics. I've actually seen it's kind of becoming clear to me from some of the conversations I've had. There's a lot of people that don't know how to use them or having a hard time with them. So I want to talk to you guys about that today. I want to ask some questions and see if we're having anybody on our stream having some trouble with that, and see if we can figure out why. I will say, as I've investigated, I'm pretty good at asking questions and trying to figure things out. And as I've investigated, a lot of people are using the 1 minute time frame, and I think we've made that pretty clear over time and on the channel and the videos I've done. I've even done a video on the 1 minute time frame and how I don't think it works that good. I don't think that it lags too much to make money on the 1 minute time frame. You can try and trend trade it, so meaning you just take the sell signals, right? Just set up your chart like this and just take the sell signals. But even then, those candles move so much in one candle, and the 1 minute chart's just like this, up and down, up and down, up and down, up. It's just a choppy nightmare. So who's struggling with that? Is there anybody in the chat that's directly struggling with that? I'd like to talk to them about it. But I have noticed, like I said, I've seen an uptick in people that have messaged me and talked to me about it, and they've had a hard time. They've got this software, and they've had a hard time. And I think it's interesting because they've bought the software from Justin directly, and then they come to my channel, and they're kind of wanting to see how I'm doing it because they're not having the success that they thought they would. Let's put it that way. And I don't want to say anything negative about the channel or anything like that. I think it's the way that Justin's designed it, and the people that he had help him design it, or whoever doing it, they do it the way they want to do it. That's great. I'm just showing you the way I use it, right? I'm showing you what works for me. So, Cube Gift, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, Tony, I noticed that. Like every video is just the 1 minute over and over again. And the way that let's just look at something here while we're talking about this. If you go like this, zoom way in, and then show the 1 minute chart. I mean, it looks pretty good, right? I mean, if you're on the 1 minute chart. But the thing is, you're going to get murdered in situations like this. I mean, even this is 3 minute chart, and there's no way you can make money right here. You get a sell signal, you'd sell, and 6 minutes later you're in negative, and then you get a buy signal. So if you do it right, you exit that and buy here, and then the next 9 minutes the same exact thing would happen to you again. So you wouldn't make here, you wouldn't make here, you wouldn't make here, and then you'd have a good win right here. But depending on where you got out here, it actually would only be from here to about here, right? Then this buy would lose, then this sell would lose. See how this is where we sold. And look what happened. The next candle, red, all red, but it went higher. All red, went higher. All red, went higher. So now we're from here to here, and the 1 minute chart's even worse. I mean, this is 3 minute chart, and I think we have a lot better luck on that. Here we are. Look, but we sold here, and this should have been a perfect entry. I mean, if you look at most of the chart settings you see, most of the things you see, this should have been a good sell, right? I mean, it looks like it should just be a buy and sell, and everything just flows, and it's like a carousel or a roller coaster, and you're just going to make. It doesn't work like that, right? So one of the things that I did, and the reason it took me so long to even get a funded account with it, is I tested things and I worked with it, because there's no way this works just using it like that. So, I go a lot more in depth on my channel, and I think people gravitate to that, right? I've had a lot of people be like, man, what you're doing is what I wanted. Like, this is better for me, because you go into multi-time frames and you really digest things and analyze things. And like yesterday, it was a long stream, guys. We had to wait for our profits yesterday, but we got them. We hit them. It's crazy for me to look back on the stream and 3 hours earlier I did all that analysis, and then 3 hours later we were where we were shooting for. But it's because every day we start with that analysis, right? So the toolkit, the whole reason I'm going on this spiel, the toolkit itself, it does work really well, but you can't just buy, sell, because it won't work. You'll just get chopped up. You know what I mean? You'll just get chopped up. So, and I've had people. I wanted to say that today, and we'll probably talk about it pretty much every stream now, because there's a lot of people, a considerable amount of people have messaged me. I'm like, man, how are you getting such good results? I bought it. I thought I was going to kill it. Justin's channel looks like he's killing it. I'm just not doing that great. And he's like, another thing, people are like, I don't want to spend $200 to go talk to him about it. You know, that's I already spent $100 for the thing, and I thought it would just work out of the box. And that's just, I mean, that's reality. You know, I'm just going to be real about it. So, good morning, Erica. Hello. Chad, Hodo, nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. My issue is getting out of losers. I just let them run way too long, right? Yeah, right on. Adam, what's up, man? Good morning. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm Chad. I hear what you're saying. I appreciate you making that comment, because you're absolutely right. One of the reasons I don't use 1 minute chart at all is for that, what you're saying, because in the afternoons you're just going to see this. You're going to sell, and it's going to go against you. A buy is going to go against you. And by the time, if you sat there and just bought and sold when everything changed, you're just going to get chopped up. Your losses are far exceeding any big wins right here, right? That's the reality of it. So, yeah, but so some of you listening are some of the people I'm talking about, but there's others that I talked to a guy yesterday. He watches the stream but never comments. He didn't really want to announce it, and he's just frustrated. He's like, man, you get good luck. You get way good results out of this, and it's like real, like you're really doing it. I feel like that what I looked at and what I saw, it just doesn't, it's not the same. I thought I was going to get something different, or he just felt like it would be different. He felt like it'd be better out of the box, right? And it is. I tried to say, well, I think it is good out of the box, but I think there's a little bit more, the add-ons I made have definitely helped it, right? There is no system that's just right out of the box, everything's going to work perfect. It just doesn't exist. If it did, everybody'd buy it and we'd all be millionaires. You know what I mean? And do you think the market wants that? Heck no. They want to take our money. Yes, Mr. Trader Mick, good morning. And Erica, yes, I am in a sale. Earlier, when I first got on the stream, I got on my stream, I placed a sell. I was just looking at my time frames and things, and I kind of did it really quick. I got 2 trades in real quick. The first one was a scalp, and the second, which went through already. The second one I'm kind of holding because it looks like today is going to be, Fridays are usually trending days, and we're on the 1 hour chart. I looked at my 1 hour chart. It's a downtrend day, and this next level down is kind of where I'm looking to aim today. And then right when that happened, I was saying on the stream earlier, right when that happened, my son came to me and said, Dad, I might need you to drive me to school. The people aren't here. They haven't come yet. And so I had to pause the stream, and anyway, that happened all right here. So I wasn't able to watch it for a minute, but I wasn't too worried about it because I did my analysis before I set the trade. So if it doesn't work out, if it breaks this resistance level, I'll take a loss and we'll move on. Not a big deal. So you don't have to take it if you don't want to. I did jump into it a little bit preemptively, but the other topic we were talking about is, and this is why I brought this up right then, is because if you look at this chart and you bought the metrics, right? And I've got this conversation a bunch with people lately. Look what happened. It turned red. Everything was red. Even my RSI was red. And then it went against us. Just almost immediately went against us. And I've had a lot of people express frustration like that. I thought that this was, I thought that whole reasoning for triple R, triple G was because it was going to start going down now. And this was a loss and we were expecting a win, right? So anyway, I wanted to vocalize that in the chat, and I want anybody to if you have any questions about that or have things about, your issues you're having with it, or you're seeing this too, let's talk about it, right? So I've noticed it too. I mean, it's not perfect. You're going to have this kind of situation. I really thought we had we had a big move down pretty fast around, 30, 40 minutes ago. And so that's why I placed this trade, and I'm looking at the next level down. And if we break this level, this is a pretty good support, but if we break this level and it just trends the rest of the day, which, like I said, 80% of Fridays are just trending days. So this is kind of my target area. So we break this, I may do another NQ sell as well. I just did one of those real quick this morning. Just got a real quick scalp in. The NQ scalp I did was 30 seconds. I think I caught this spike right here. I just looked at it. I saw it was going to go down. I did it real quick. I clicked sell 21, boom, 30 seconds later it's done. It was just one of those magic awesome ones. And then my son came to me and I had to leave for just a minute. So yeah, we're gonna watch it for a bit. If you don't want to take it, you don't have to take any of my trades, guys. Any of you guys don't have to take my trades. And if you're seeing something different, you speak up or do what's best for you, type of thing. Another thing too, broker to broker, we're gonna see a little bit of difference. We've seen that a couple times already. A couple chats I've had outside of here too. People have mentioned that they're not all the same. So every broker, there's a little bit different data feed. There may be a little bit slight variation in the signals we get. The other night, Tony and I saw that. He had a signal before I did. So I jumped in when he said he got his signal, and the next candle I got mine. So we were at least 3 minutes off on that one. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So, but yeah, I wanted to bring this up. I'm really glad this happened first thing, right? Because I've got a lot of people. I would say 15 to 20 conversations I've had with people that are frustrated with this kind of stuff. And they thought the metrics, especially, man, I'm telling you, on 1 minute chart, you're going to see this all the time. I've never, when people tell me like they've had nothing but problems and they've been losing money, they show me their charts or we talk about it. They're always on 1 minute. Always. This is what they're doing. They're trying to buy this and then it ends up down here, so it's a loss. Then they sell this thing. Oh, okay, well, it's going to go down now. Instantly they're in a loss and it goes up 50 ticks against them. So there's 2 losses in 10 minutes on the 1 minute chart. And then you're hoping to catch these great big long waves, and they're so few and far between. You know what I mean? Anything you gain here, you lose in here for sure. That's my opinion. I mean, if you guys see it different, let me know. But that's my thought. So I know the trainings. I've never done one of the trainings that Justin does, and I know that his channel is kind of moving towards a lot of trainings. They do like 2 a week now, live trainings, and there may be some tips that they add to that he doesn't really say on a lot of the videos. That might help. I mean, because he just shows win after win after win, accounts passed after accounts passed, and he's killing it. I've seen some of his withdrawals. His withdrawal screen on Take Profit, he's got a bunch of withdrawals. So I know he's making money. I know he's pulling money out. And I know it works. The thing is, I just use it different, right? I use it how I want to use it. Tony says, that's why I got it, because it looked so easy. I did too, man. Straight up. I had my own setup before that. I'll show you. I want to show you guys something. This is the setup I used to use. It's kind of old now. I designed this a couple years ago. I didn't design it, but I just kind of threw it together. I'm going to show it to you. I used this system for probably 2 years. This million moves algo came out like 2 years ago, and I thought it was great at first. And I started using this, and it's decent. I got some decent pulls out of it, but the metrics I have now, the simple market metrics, I do way better with. And I'll tell you why too, because I get out better. Let's see. Somebody just mentioned that earlier. Chad, I think it was. I noticed. My issue is getting out of losers. I just let them run way too long. Well, Chad, I'll tell you right now, and if you watch some of my other live streams, if you get a minute, you'll see that there's been a couple times I've taken a loss on stream, and I let the metrics tell me when to do it, and it sucks. But at the same time, every single time, 45 minutes later, I'm like, look when we got out. Look how much better that was to get out where it said to get out. So I just use the metrics. I use the metrics to tell me to enter, and if I haven't hit my daily profit trigger, then the metrics tell me when to get out. I wish Justin would stick to the way he was doing things. Yeah, his channel is growing fast. He's got a lot of traction, and I've noticed that, like I said, right now they're doing a lot of promotion about the training. The guy that he's got, the training partner, they're trying to do a lot of trainings and stuff. And I understand that in a lot of ways, because there is so many people that do not have experience. They haven't been trading for a long time. And there is a good market for training. There really is. So, I think they're trying to use the two together, which, like I said, I think it's a great idea in a lot of respects. Because there's so many people that don't know what they're doing, and they're trying to capitalize on let's get you this toolkit, right? But we're also going to train you. We also can train you and give you some background so you do better. Your results are going to be better. That's maybe why my results are so consistent, because I have experience. I've been in the markets doing other things and seeing other things, and I've had funded accounts. I've actually got paid from funded accounts, right? It's not a lot, especially, in futures, I've not made that much. I made some in Forex, but futures, I haven't made that much yet, but I'm going to. But even a guy with experience and seeing the things I've done, I've still struggled. It's not been as easy as I thought it was going to be, but everybody does. I know guys that have bought 10 times as many accounts as I have. Yeah, Chad, that works. That works. I don't like to use stop losses necessarily, and it's not because it's because I use my system to tell me when to take a stop loss, because just a static stop loss doesn't work for me. Every setup every day is different. You know what I mean? So if you just did like 25, some days that's too tight. Some days that won't let the trade breathe enough, and you're just going to hit pound stop loss after stop loss. And that's super frustrating when you get good entries and then you're hitting your stop loss, and then it turns around and goes where your take profit was and where you're initially planning. That's a very frustrating thing to see. And so I've kind of gravitated the last 5 years or so, I've really got just to where I let my system tell me when to take a stop. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. This head cold's going away, but it's still lingering a little bit. Yeah, that's a good way to do it, Trader Mick. I really like that too. Money flow was a game changer for me, right? Understanding momentum and money flow. I was losing so many trades before then because I was just going off price action. And there's more to the story. Like, money flow is like what's behind the scenes. Money flow is like what everybody else is doing and getting on that same rail car with them. So yeah, that's a great way to do it. I really like that. I respect that. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that today. I was really glad that I saw this when I got on stream. I saw this. I'm like, let's talk about that. And I was sure that some of you struggle with that. I know for sure you are, because we've talked about it. And I've had people just randomly, anonymously say, hey, how are you doing this? I see your videos. I have the simple market metrics already, which my goal is I want to sell it to new people who don't have it. I want to kind of show them what to do with it and how to use it. And I'm getting as many people that already have it that are just like frustrated and confused. And they're just like, man, I'm not getting these results at all. You know? Yeah, Erica, it's funny. If you go back on a lot of the videos, a lot of people have asked him, hey, why don't you do a live stream? Why don't you take some of these trades live? I mean, it's one thing to sit down and look back and say, look at this trade, look at that trade, look at this trade, look at that trade, this one, this one, this one, this one. It's a different thing to do it like we're doing and taking them in real time, right? Like I can show people, so when people message me, I say, if you get time, look at my live streams. It's going to be time consuming, and you can scroll through them and go faster or whatever, but you'll see it. You'll see what signal I got and why I did what I did and how I did it. It's not just I take and look behind. Some of my recaps show from behind, but that's why I'm not doing those as much anymore, because it just shows you That's great that I got in here and I got out there, but like I'd like to see it in real time. Most people I think appreciate that more than looking back and being like, "Oh, that's a great win, but how did you get that?" You know what I mean? So, but yeah, they don't do it. They just, Justin's videos, the thumbnails are all like it shows kind of like a 200, and then it'll say winner. So his channel, like right here, if we looked at this one, it would say winner and then maybe winner here, right? It might have 2 or 3 winners on the little thumbnail. But replicating that's what people are having a hard time with. They're assuming that's what's going to happen when you get it, but it doesn't. You plug and play it doesn't work like that. Man, I got something stuck in my throat. So yeah, it's funny. I'm getting a lot of people that have bought it and they're frustrated and they're asking me for help. They're using my channel to kind of see how to do it differently and how it's working. And it even says in some of the FAQs it's only made for like 1 minute, 2 minute chart. There's nothing really saying 3 minute and beyond. But I only started doing good with it when I started using it on the higher time frames. That's the only way I was able to make it even profitable. Yeah, Chad, another problem I seen on the 1 minute chart, the metrics, things move so fast that the metrics probably tell you late. If you let the metrics tell you, you're still going to take a pretty decent loss because, you get situations like this. You're in a sell, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles later, the thing's telling you to exit, and you're at that point you're 50 beyond. Where a static 25 might have been better in that scenario, but it might not have been. So things move pretty fast on the 1 minute charts, what I'm trying to say. It would be really hard to let the metrics tell you. Now on 5 minute chart, I feel like I get a lot better view, right? Like yesterday we had a scenario like this, Chad. We had a scenario like this. I sold right here. It was almost identical to this. I sold right here. I did all my analysis. Everything looked really good. We were in a trend trade. The next 2 candles it went against me. So the second it turned all greens, I took my loss. I took like $100 loss right here. And then, 2 candles later, it started selling again. So if you'd have took a buy right here just based off red, green, you'd have lost again. This would have been 2 losses in a row. But once I saw that we started selling again, and this kind of stuff happens pretty common, guys. This is the algos or whatever they use. This is them looking. They've done it a couple times. They know people are doing what we're doing. They know people are looking at higher time frames and they're just trying to catch our stop losses, right? So I like these I like the order block and resistance levels too, because they help you too, right? But yesterday, after we took the 1 loss here, we got in a really good sell here, and I had to wait like 2 or 3 hours to get this sell. But right after the stream, it was probably 45 minutes after the stream, we tagged. I plotted from the 1 hour chart, I plotted a support line down here. We set our take profit right above it, and 2 hours later I nailed it. I mean, it poked it and actually went through it just a little bit and started going back against us. And so we had to wait for it, but that one loss here, I would far exceeded right here. And so, and another thing too, how I do things, I don't just look at like one trade at a time. So 1 loss here and there doesn't bother me at all. I'm concerned about my daily profit trigger. That's my goal. I want that thing to get tagged. Tony, that histogram indicator is based off of an old Forex setup that I used to have that had those same numbers. And when I uploaded it to futures and I saw it still worked pretty good, I was super, super excited because I used to kick butt with Forex with that. For using trend like I do, the alignment trend like I do, and then using this RSI together, I kicked butt. That was probably the best I ever did overall, and consistent. That's what I love about it too, is it always works. It's rare that it doesn't work. It's not that it doesn't work. It's just what the information's telling you. It's money flow, right? If you're in the trend and just imagine this RSI indicator as the green is buyers and the red is sellers. I mean, that's all you have to do. And so you're just jumping in when you get to this point and things start flowing. You're just jumping in with the sellers. I mean, look at this. If this is before we got started today. This is about when the market opened. But we just jumped in with all the sellers and look what would happen. Yesterday was exactly like that. We rode a ride like that yesterday. Exact same thing. Game changer, guys. That RSI histogram's game changer. Really, really works well. So I use everything. It's not you could use just the market metrics themselves, and I've said it a bunch of times. They'll work just by themselves, no problem. But the way that I have the chart set up, I think it's a lot better. Made some very good improvements to it. Yeah, it would be nice. I've had people say that to me too before, Erica, on that same topic. Why don't you ever see anybody else that wins? Right? It'd be nice if you could show like customers winning and examples. There's been a lot of people that have accused him of like just misleading. I've seen a lot of posts that are on his own videos that people are saying, well, how are you buying all these new accounts when you've already passed them in other posts? Like, are you blowing them off screen and not saying anything? And he says, well, I'm just cashing them out and then doing the challenges again to show you that it works. So if that's the case, I mean, I know with like Take Profit Trader, they have a buffer, and if you use that buffer, then they'll liquidate your account and you got to start all over again. But in my mind, I would just get the buffer set and I would just do daily takeout. I just do daily profits. I would just do daily. I wouldn't liquidate my buffer and then have to do an eval again and all that again. I wouldn't do that. I don't know anybody who really would, to be honest. I mean, if you're at that point and you're funded, why would you take your funded account and liquidate it? Wouldn't you want to just use the metrics to trade and then cash that out every day? That's my mindset on that. Tony, are you asking about the daily profit trigger on Trade-Evade? Yes, it will. So that daily profit trigger, it'll liquidate no matter what you have. So if you're trading multiple things and some of them are in a loss, it'll just liquidate everything you have. It's looking at the cumulative. So once you hit that cumulative number, everything liquidates. That's what I love about it. It's great. So as I've been talking, this has just kind of been floating and now it's spiked up a little bit. So we're into this resistance, right? We're into this resistance. I want to see what happens here. I'm a trend trader. I've said this a bunch of times. My 200 is my definer, so I would always sell under here. And I really, looking at the chart this morning, this is what this looked like. It was just going to sink from here. Now that doesn't mean it. Obviously, it didn't. And this is why we've been talking about this the last half hour or so, because people are frustrated when this happens. Everybody's doing the same thing, thinking this should have been a good sell, and here we are, and we're in the negative. It didn't pan out. So I'm going to watch it for a bit, but yeah, if I need to, I will, and then we'll just see what's going to happen here. But let's watch these levels. I want to watch this level here. Looking at the 1 hour chart. We just tagged this little support here. Very strong resistance. This is what we played off of yesterday. We caught this downtrend yesterday. This was even a bigger downtrend the last 24 hours. So yeah, we're gonna watch this for a bit. If I need to, I will, and then we'll just punt. We'll just have to figure out what we got to figure out at that point. But Fridays are usually, I would say 80% of the time, Fridays are trending days. So once we establish where we're going, we're just gonna trend that way. So, but yeah, I wanted to talk about this. I'm really glad we kind of talked about that a little bit. And I'm real, guys. I'm transparent. So like, I'll show you wins, losses, everything. Like I didn't design this software, so I'm not trying to hide anything. Or I do want to sell them. I do want to be an affiliate, but I'm not gonna make it something it's not. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be real about what I see and how I think about it. And I encourage all of you to be the same way on my chat, right? Say what you got to say and just explain your experience. I mean, you paid for it, so you can say it like it is and express how you feel about it, and we'll talk about it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm totally for that. I'm really glad I got it. I mean, regardless of how good or bad it works, or some of the flaws, or it's not perfect. But like I said, guys, for $99, I don't think you can beat it. I've seen software that's more expensive that doesn't work as good. I can say that confidently. So, okay, both those order blocks disappeared on us. Got super strong RSIs. I've been talking about this. I was really focused on talking about this and not watching the chart necessarily. So it's going to suck if I have to take this loss, but I just want to watch for just a second here. We got pretty good resistance up here. That's what I say about this. It's kind of hard to stream and focus on talking about stream stuff and doing the stream and trading at the same time. Sometimes that is a challenge, not going to lie. Yeah, both those order blocks disappeared. So unless we get some spike, unless we get some bounce off this 200, this is probably not going to work out for us. But let's watch for a second. It was like the other night when I first got this 50K account. I was down like 400 right off the bat. I'm like, son of a... And then I just took my time working it, getting it back. But yeah, this kind of stuff, guys, that I thought was important to talk about. I'm really glad I saw that first thing because I wanted to bring that up and, discuss it a little bit. I think that I didn't set out to be like the training channel. I do want to sell a lot of these, but it's also interesting how many people have mentioned that they're just struggling with it. And I'm like, well, I do pretty well with it. But again, I did a little different than most people. I think most people buy it and they turn around and buy a prop firm account right away. And I would not recommend that. I've never, ever said that. I bet you if you went back through all my videos, I'd be like, get a demo account, play with it for a week or two, and then buy a prop account. I mean, that to me, that makes total sense. I don't think I would never do, that's very hopeful. Very, very hopeful. You need to play with it a little bit. You need to get used to it before you go live. You know what I'm saying? You need to practice with it and play with it a little bit. And that's what I did. I actually had it for a couple months before I even bought a prop account. Because at very first, I'll tell you right now, guys, when I first got it, I thought it was just a waste of money. I put it on 1 minute chart. I'm like, this is garbage. It looks great on I watched so many videos. I'm like, I'm not getting this at all. This is not what... I emailed Justin a couple times. We talked about it. He encouraged me to get the trainings, the $200 trainings, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just wanted to buy a system and use it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just tinker with it and see if I can get something to work, and that's what I came up with. And this is how when I started seeing good results is what I'm doing now. This is how I started getting decent results every day. Well, It could, Ray. Yeah, it very well could. I've been focused on talking about a subject that's came up off stream quite a bit that I've been trying to address, and I just wanted to bring it out to the chat. I got into this trade, and then I got distracted for about 20 minutes because I had an issue with my son and some school stuff. And the people that came and got him were like 20 minutes late, and it kind of really screwed me up right here. But we were talking about, if you go back on the stream, we were talking about some of the signals not panning out. And a lot of people are having frustration with that. Like this should have been a beautiful sell right here. We had everything in line, and the very next candle was negative, and here we are an hour later, and we're negative. We're quite negative. Of course, I've just kind of been watching the overall, and I didn't do anything here when I maybe should have. But we were talking about some pretty important things, and yeah, 5712 is that resistance right there. So I don't think we'll break this level today, guys. It's a 1 hour downtrend, and Fridays are trending days, so I'm not. That's why I'm not really doing much about this right now, because I want to see what it does at the 200 level. 03T Glasgow, nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I don't know if it's tricks being played, but I just don't know if the full story is being told, right? Like I said, they're the main sales channel, so they want to sell as many as they can, and it always looks really good on their. They've got hundreds of videos on their channel, and it's just winning daily, win after win after win after win after win. And some days I really got to work for my wins. Really got to. Well, you guys have seen it. The ones that have watched the stream the last 2 weeks, you've seen it. You got to work for your wins. This is why this subject came up, because it's not just win after win after win. These would have been 2 losses back to back. So far today, if you would have gone back even 2 hours, this would have been a loss. This would have been a loss. This would have been a loss. Then you'd have a decent win. That would have been a loss. That is a loss. That would have been a win. If you just did what the metrics show, like the green, red, triple G, triple R. So if you add all that up, you'd have had 2 decent wins with 4 medium-sized losses. I would be real surprised if you were break even. And I traded it like that, guys. I even did a video like doing red to green, and I got whooped. What was funny is I looked back on that video. We had one of these moments going on, and I got whooped right here on the lower time frame. On the higher time frame, I did just fine. On 3 minute, I would have just held this sell because there's no reason to get out. On the 1 minute chart, it was sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, buy. All those lost. Every single one of those lost. Every single buy lost. Now, if you're just scalping and you're just doing if you just do like a 5 tick or 10 tick and no stop loss, then you just wait for the candle to move that much, great. But if you're buying here and you're waiting for 5 ticks and then you get clear down here and it never happened, that's a huge loss. So one way or the other, you're not going to win. If you're fighting the trend, you're not going to win. Tony, are you asking where this trade? Where did it open? What are you talking about? The market open? Market open was right here. Yeah, market open was right there. On this candle here. That's another reason I kind of looked. I looked at my 1 hour. I saw where the support and resistance are. I saw this kind of flail out and then retest. And anytime you have, so not anytime, but generally, when you have a strong trend and some consolidation, those trends usually continue. You can look back on the charts and you'll see what I'm talking about. Very, 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 very common. So that's just glancing at the screen when I took this trade. That's kind of what I saw. And it's Friday, so a lot of Fridays are trend days. Once we establish a trend, we're just going to ride that thing most of the day. So yeah, I saw this little consolidation. This buy wouldn't have worked either, because look at this. Buy, then quite a big chunk down. Buy, about break even right there. Chunk down. So 10 minutes, this would have sunk against you because your entry's here, and then it started selling. And if you did your 1 hour bias like I did, then I would want to get in here because we're going to be with the trend. Even though there's a support here, I can see this support down here. And if we break this level, then this is where we're headed. That's why my take profits where it's at. In fact, we could even move that down a little bit. I'd be okay with it right there too. That's towards the bottom of the order block. But if this order block disappears, which if the price got that far into it, it would. So yeah, anyway, I'm glad this happened. I'm glad that we're talking about this a little bit. I know that there's been some frustration expressed to me outside of the live stream. So just want to talk about it for a little bit. Now we'll kind of focus on the charts and see what we can figure out for the day. There's our NQ numbers. Notice NQ moved a little different today. There was no extra sell right here. It was more just a solid buy from this level. A couple little spikes down, but excuse me. If you're trying to scalp this stuff, you get murdered. Yeah, you get on 1 minute chart. This would be a nightmare. I don't even. That's a meat grinder. It's not even tradable in my opinion. I've never had success. I'll just say this right now too, guys, and I know other traders that have this opinion, so I've never had success on 1 minute chart on any system, ever. I think it's funny when you look out there and you see so many YouTubers trading the 1 minute chart, and then they wonder why days they're just getting murdered. I mean, it's a meat grinder. I feel like it's designed that way. The closer you get to like 0 seconds, the worse it gets, more traumatic it gets, more volatile it gets. You got to back up a little bit, zoom out a little bit, and you get a little bit of clarity on what's really going on overall. And it's so much less stress. I mean, I've watched those charts. I've watched 1 minute charts, and it's a meat grinder. It's just, oh my gosh, so much stress. And it's crazy how fast you can be down a good chunk. You know what I mean? After 2 or 3 losses in a day. And if you start doubling up on your next ones to make up for any losses, man, you really get out of sorts pretty quick. Yeah, pretty quick. We've all done it. We've all been there. Anybody can relate to that. Anybody can relate to that. So yeah, so here's why I've been holding Erica, and some of you guys wondering if I should cancel this. Look what happened at the 200 line. We've kind of the price action is looking like we're not quite strong enough to get there. Hang on just a moment. I need to take this call. Well, that was crazy. I just got off the phone with my tax lady that did our taxes for us, and she's like, "Hey, I had to look at something else. I had a question on something that we did our taxes, and you're going to get more money back." I'm like, "Sweet, that's unexpected, but yeah, I'll take it. Heck yeah." Anyway, so let's see where we at. I think it should bounce at the 200, Tony. I'm kind of. You guys are seeing how I do it. You're probably gonna start picking up on some of the cues of what I look for and how. To somebody who's newer to this, they're going to look and be like, "Man, that's scary. I don't know how you do that," or "What are you seeing? How are you getting that info?" Or "How are you getting?" I've done this so many times. I just have a really good idea of what to look for, and overall, like I was just saying a minute ago, zooming out is so important. And that's why that lower time frame stuff is such a meat grinder, because you're too inner focused, you're too macro focused, right? Microcosm focused or whatever. It's just you're not seeing the big picture. And yeah, I watch those 1 minute guys just get absolutely murdered. A lot of guys are really good at just jumping in. If you read your money flow, you can still do okay on 1 minute chart. But anytime you see candles that can move that much in one candle in the 1 minute chart, it's hard to trade it. I don't care what your strategy is, right? Yeah, that's awesome, Tony. I was like, heck yeah, thank you. I'm getting like $1,000 more than I thought I was going to get. Thank you. I'll take it. Let's buy some more. Let's buy some more accounts. Let's give me next account I'm going to get is TPT. Do this one first. I'm going to get TPT. I may do another Tradeify too, and then just have one that I can just pull cash out every 10 days on. That kind of sucks. I wish I would have looked at that when I first bought that account. TPT was doing those stupid activation fees again. That's why I didn't get one, because I knew I was going to pass it, and I didn't want to pay another $150 on top of the $100 for the account, right? And then I went to the Tradeify was only $200, no activation fee. But as I got looking at the consistency rule and the 10-day rule for payouts, I'm like, yeah, that sucks. It'd be better to pay the extra activation fee. You know what I mean? So, okay, so here we are, guys. This support's going to disappear. Once this 5 minute candle breaks below here, this will disappear. And then we're going to be lined up for sell again. Now, this is our crucial level to watch today. This is just like yesterday. We had a crucial level, and once it disappeared, then we knew we were game on for these gaps. And I trust this, guys. These support lines, they're solid. We've seen that how many times. I look through my whole channel, watch my videos. You can see where I've plotted these levels, and they're solid. They're solid. Now, is it 100%? There is no 100%. This price could turn around right here, dead smack in the middle, for no reason at all. It could turn around right here for no reason at all. But are they solid levels that work high probability most of the time? Yeah, I'd say that for sure. So that's the difference between me, guys. I'm real. I'm going to tell you, like, there is no for sure. You can plot and plan all day and still be wrong. That's why this trade didn't work out. This trade should have worked. Looking at the chart when I first did, I was in a hurry because of some things going on outside of trading. And that's a bad thing. When you get distracted and you're in a trade, that can really hurt you. And this is a good example of that, right? But now that I'm here at the chart, I can manage it. It's not a big deal. But by all rights, I've seen this setup before, and it's panned out. This setup before, right here, when this candle was brand new and it was just barely turning red, just like it is now, I would have thought every bit that it would have done this. I did. When I first looked at it, I thought, okay, we're going to break this level and hit this next level down. Thinking that it's Friday, thinking at the 1 hour chart, thinking at the momentum. Look how fast things move the last 24 hours. There's still some pretty good momentum. So will it get that far down? I don't know. I don't think we're going to get like to here. I mean, we might. You never know. I've seen Fridays where it's just blew through every support. I mean, it could go clear to here. I think once sellers join the club and things start hitting, especially how our economy's been lately, people who are smart have been selling. Throw your money in there and let's go. Let's go. Okay, so when this candle breaks, once this red holds, this candle breaks down below the 21, I imagine this order block's going to disappear. We want to kind of see that follow suit on the 5 minute. Then we can kind of manage this trade. It'll either be that we get back to this break even and I'll take it off. Depending on what I see, I may add to it. let's do this while we're here too. I'm going to look at NQ. We may capture a... I might take a sell here. Let's look at the 1 hour. I'm gonna go to just a one panel chart for just a sec. 1 hour, same story, guys. Lots of buy sell pressure here. This, if you zoom out, we can see we've been much lower before and recently, not years ago, months ago, like a week ago. This is I mean, this is scream and sell to me, people. This is scream and sell to me. So let's do this. I'd like to see it break that 5-minute candle. When it does, I think we're going to enter a sell on the NQ. I'm going to hold my ES. I'm going to enter a sell on NQ. And plotting this out, we're going to shoot for at least here. 19.611. So let's go back to 5-minute. 19.611's right here. We're going to shoot for at least there. That should be a decent trade on NQ. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Trader Mick. We're probably already there. We're going to be real close. This is a medium resistance. I'm not too worried about that. We got 1 minute left. If this closes, okay, I'm going to enter on the 3-minute. I think we're going to sell. We're going to sell to this level here, at least this level. I'm thinking, honestly, guys, I'm going to put a target right here because I'm thinking it's going to go that low. This is just telling me. This is just telling me we're going to drop. I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right 100% of the time, but what I'm seeing, this is looking like a good drop here. So, guys, if you're needing a trade today and we're wanting to get some money, this looks pretty good. Look at this. We're doing our analysis. We're not just guessing. 1 hour chart's down. We bounced really. This is a bounce. This went into the profit wave, and then this next 2 candles are going to be down. I've seen that millions of times. We talked about that yesterday. If you're needing a trade, this would be a good one to look at. Set your stop. If you're doing stops, set your stop right around here. This resistance. Set your take profit down here. In fact, I'll do it when we're doing it. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Let's do 100 and 100, and then I'll move it where I need it. Let's do it. Watch me. Let's do it. Let's put this up here. Let's just go right about there. And then let's put this down right around here. Who thinks that's a solid trade? I think Mr. Trader Mick does. Who thinks that's a solid trade? Who thinks we did the good analysis and that's a solid trade? Not just the metrics. The metrics are lining up too. But on a patience trade. I mean, this may take an hour or two to get there, but who thinks that's a solid setup? Let's go back over to our ES chart. Look at this, guys. We bounced off that 200. So they used to call this a trident pattern back in Forex. When you'd had three wicks in a row, that usually signaled a reversal. Like there wasn't enough strength to break the 200, especially if it's poking in the 200 like that. That says reversal all day long to me, just reading the price action. So now this would be a good sell right here too, and then just aim for where my original sell is. That would be a good sell too. So on that note, I'm going to get a little aggressive here. Let's do 1.
Order filled.
And let's go here. And let's go down around here. Okay, then I'm going to go to 2 window. We're going to have this side be the ES, and this side we'll do NQ. And we're going to have to wait for it. It's not going to happen instantly, right? But I think we're pretty, that looks pretty good to me. Who likes this setup? Who likes this setup here? This should get our daily numbers pretty solid here. Do you have one, Tony? If you've got one, then let's look the next candle. I wouldn't be surprised if the next candle does. I don't know. That's a good question, though. On the ES, 3 minute. Maybe I do. I have my alerts on. Yeah, I've got my alerts on for 3 minute. I don't know. Do you have one, Tony? No. So I'll say this: the alerts that Simple Market Metrics does, they're not based off of the red, just the red. There's something else that makes them happen, and it's a great place to sell. So I'm not sure why we didn't get one. That's a good question. Let's just watch the 3 minute chart on both sides here, but. Now, can this spin around and really whoop our butts? It can. There's nothing to say it can't. So here's a tip for anybody that's new and trying to figure out how to do trading. When you enter a trade, you're not just looking at where you want the thing to go. Look at where it could go if it goes against you. And be okay with that amount of loss. So think about it like this. Enter every trade and on one hand say, okay, if I win, I'm going to win X amount of dollars, $200. If I lose, I'm going to lose $200. And then be okay with that. Set those margins, set those parameters, and then the key to that is using your analysis to get you in the best entry you can. But you have to look at both. You need to think, okay, I'm okay with $200 loss, I'm okay with $200 win, and I'm just using a random number, right? But if you start doing that, you'll notice an improvement in your trading, because instead of moving your stop losses and not wanting to take a loss, and next thing you know, you're $500 loss when you're only shooting for $200 for a win, or $1,000 loss, or $1,500 loss, or blown account. Because if you're wrong and things go against you, they won't stop. You know what I mean? You're going to lose more than your plan. Not quite red yet. No, I saw that too, Trader Mick. We're right on the cusp of things moving. So it's super, super close though. If we can hold this level even through this candle, it'll change red. We got about 35 seconds to see, but I think, and then once it does, it's going to start moving. We'll get down to that next level down. I'd love to see this break though. This is a strong support. If this breaks and we just trend the rest of the day, we could get to these levels pretty easy. I've seen it a bunch of times. This setup looks great for that. Doesn't mean it'll happen in 15 minutes, but we want to be patient for it today. We can get there. And if it goes against us, we'll manage it. We'll take our loss. We'll take our licks. I mean, if nothing else, we'll just break away. We'll start our account next week with a fresh, brand new. Where we started at, you know what I mean? We'll take our L and we'll take our weekend. But I would have done what I just did if I didn't feel super confident about it, or pretty confident. You know what I mean? We did our analysis. We looked at our top-down analysis. We're using trends. We're trading with the trend right now. We're on the higher trend and the lower trend, higher time frame and lower time frame trend. We're on the good side of 221. We've got money flow heading our way. That 5 minute is almost to 10, 11, 12. It gets to 12. That just means more sellers are piling in. There we go, Mr. Trader Mick. You see that? On the 5 minute, you see that? And it went away. Nice. I have my daily profit trigger for the 50K account, I have it at 525. On my 100K accounts, I was doing 875, but a couple times I moved it higher. There was a couple days I got 1299. One day I got 1900 something when I was trying to get funded. That was stupid too. I mean, I remember saying I wouldn't recommend you do this, and it's very risky to do this. And I got lucky that day that things worked out really well, but that could have been really bad for me too. And that's the honesty I'm trying to give you guys, right? I'm just being real. That could have really whooped my butt. I could have been buying a new account that day. So, and that's where people go wrong. We all get too aggressive. That day it worked out for me. The next time I tried it, I bought a new account. There's Lorand. Hey, how you doing, Lorand? We've been we haven't done any trades because you weren't here. I'm gonna make a rule: we can't do trades unless Lorand's here. What's taking you so long? I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't care if you're across the planet from me. That's not an excuse. What are you doing? I feel really bad if you told me like a family member had some problems and you had to be gone. I feel bad for teasing you. But no, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Not on the charts this morning? You're living vicariously through me today, Tony? Well, buckle up, my friend. Buckle up. It's Friday. Buckle up. Okay, we got red again. That thing's poking red. The candle just changed on the ES. Money flow hit 12.5, so if this candle holds, I will get a signal for sell on the 5 minutes. So we're gonna kind of keep our levels and see now where to watch on these two. The NQ I'm not as worried about. This is a very slight resistance or support here. I think we'll get to this level pretty slick. This one here is going to be harder to break. So we just got to be patient. I am curious on MQ. 5 minutes changed yet? Almost. It did change, but we're almost to 12. Okay, we're just gonna be patient, guys. And I'll manage this. So, if you're in this trade, please use good sizing. Don't look at my stream like, hey, this is going to be a money maker. This guy knows what he's doing, so I'm going to pile 10 micros on there or 10 minis on there, and I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow because he knows what he's doing. Everything can change. All traders get whooped. I don't care who you watch. Every single trader takes losses, whether they advertise it or not. I do. I'm not going to be a false guy. I'll show you. And you guys are on stream right now, so if it goes against me, you're going to see it. So, but if you're taking this trade, just use good size. Just use good lot size. Let's just be patient for it, like we were yesterday. We had to really wait for yesterday's profits, but it was worth it. I hit my daily profit trigger. It was worth it. Totally worth it. It's like anything, man. If you're gonna get buff and go to the gym, the only way you're gonna get there is by spending the time and doing the work. Trading's no different. If you want to do really good at trading, you got to sit at the computer for hours on end sometimes, and you got to do the work. You got to do the analysis. You got to manage your trades. They go against you, get out and find a better one. They're going with you, hang on to it, right? Oh, not too bad, Lorand. How are you doing? It'll be better when my head cold disappears. Hopefully this weekend I get rid of it. Supposed to have some nice weather out here in Utah. I'm going to get outside a little bit, see if I can get my nasals clear out a little bit. I have a question for one of the streamers, one of the people in the chat. Erica, how is your 50K account? I've been watching you. I've been watching your 50K account. I want to see how you're doing too, because I'm on a 50K account, so I'm curious. How are we doing? You got a really good goal. That 200 a day goal is really good. I recommend everybody do something similar to that. That's very attainable. It's very realistic. It's also very safe, and I really think that's awesome. Now, if she came on here and she's like, I got a 50K account, I'm going to make $1,200 a day, I'd be like, whoa, I'm pushing that pretty good. Okay, Lorand, if you jump in the trade, just use low lot size and good risk management, and let's watch it and see what happens. We're bouncing around at the 21. Our 1 hour chart on both NQ and MES is in a downtrend. The levels I've plotted are for the lows where we've already been. And one of the levels I plotted was if that lower does not hold, then this will be the next leg down. If everything works like it should, like I'm planning and kind of looking at, my daily trigger will profit before I hit this bottom one. Yeah, my daily trigger will catch before we hit that bottom one. That's my goal, guys. That's what I'm shooting for every day. That's my end. My ultimate goal is to get that daily profit trigger to hit. Now, I'm not just doing that by looking at I'm not just adding 10 here and 10 here, because it would be seconds if I did that. But if it went against me, I'd be out. There's no room for error in that scenario. I'd much rather go at the lower level and get some distance, because that actually is trading. If you got in and you had some distance, that's trading. Anybody can luckily get a 15, 20, 30 point scalp. You could enter buy and sell at any time and maybe get one of those, right? But to actually get a 70, 80, 100 point, 100 ticks different distance, pretty hard to do that on accident every day, right? And I'm just saying it like it is. We are doing the solid analysis before we trade. We look at the time frames. We look at our levels. Like I said, the metrics are awesome. You could trade just off the metrics, but there's more to the story. We want to know where our support and resistance is. We want to know where the money flow is. Mr. Trader Mix, big bond money flow. He's absolutely right, guys. Once I started understanding those concepts of how money flow works, like I said, you've got your bags of money and you're getting on the train with everybody else on their bags of money, and you're going that direction, right? The other people outside are standing there holding their bags of money, and we're out the window grabbing them as we go. That's the traders against us. You know what I'm saying? That's the market makers. They're in that big fancy train with their nice suits on and drinking champagne, and we're outside with our hobo stick and like $10 and just holding it up in the air, hoping to make some money, and they just grab it as they go by. The jerks. How could they? We're trying to change things on our channel. I get a little bit loopy, guys. I'm a fun guy. I have some fun here and there. So if I say some random stuff, you get a laugh out of it. Just let me know in the chat you appreciated that. I'm trying to liven your day up a little bit. We'll add some comedy to your day besides some funds to the account. It gets worse if I have cough medicine too. We're just hovering at that 21. Our RSI is dropping slowly. Kind of retesting that level here, that 21. I don't know if you guys remember yesterday, who was on the stream yesterday, but we kind of float for a little while, and then once everybody jumps on board, that train goes, we start moving pretty fast. It happens pretty frequently. It's not always a guarantee, but we catch those moves, man, you can just make some good profit. It's fun. That's when trading's fun. When you're on the right side of it, it's awesome. It's so awesome. Stream health looks good today, guys. The view looks good. I've got my tablet open. I'm streaming at 1080p. I haven't seen any buffering at all. That's kind of my double check that I'm doing myself personally. The audio sounds good now that I've got the right microphone recording. Got a new headset so I can hear myself really well, which helps me keep my distance, so it's a good quality audio for you. We want to have a quality stream. We want you guys to get value out of this, you know what I mean? We want it to sound good, look good, and get good content out of it. Painting the picture. I'm still waiting for the signal on the 3-minute on MES, Trader Mick. I haven't got any signals today as far as the actual SMM signals. I wish I knew somebody who was good with TradingView coding. I would like to see how those signals are populated. I've tried to see. I've looked back and I've tried to look what it's on, and I can't tell. Sometimes it looks like it's on MA. Sometimes it looks like it's on RSI almost. But it's not. Yeah, I can't see exactly what it's designed off of. I do like that it doesn't repaint, and anybody who understands what a repainting indicator is knows how frustrating that is. So I'm glad SMM's not like that. Now, repainting is when, say the back testing, so back in the past looked really good, and then in the future it would go red and then green and then red and then green, and then after you got like 4 or 5 candles in, it would all show red. And so it looked like it was always red, but actually it was red and green the whole time, and so you didn't know. You couldn't tell why you're actually trying to trade it. That's a repainting indicator, and they're absolute garbage. They just need to be deleted. Honestly, Trader Mick, the way I have it set, it's the way I'm going to use it, man. This chop filter and MA filter, I'd rather take less trades and have them be a high probability. I mean, it looks good on the chart when you take that MA filter off. Looks like, oh, that'd been good to get clear up there. Not going to lie, I'd love to get a little bit more distance on some of them, but I'd rather be with the trend and have it be a higher probability trade and make less money. And I still do fine money-wise. I just feel like that we're higher probability trades. So you're probably right, man. That's probably exactly what it is. That chop filter's doing its job. I'd rather not have the signal. I mean, if the signal populated and then it was a loss, then I'd rather have the chop filter on. That's my mentality too, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like it. I do too. That's how I'm gonna rock it. I'm not changing it. I looked at it a couple times yesterday. I'm like, oh, it looks really good, you know. But the second you get bid on one, you're gonna be like, well, I'm turning that back on. I just let it do its job. But man, I've had days. That's the thing too, Trader Mick. I've had days where I've had like 5 trades in a row that won using that chop filter. So why mess with that? You know, why mess with it? Why mess with it? Okay, how we all doing, guys? Stream's looking good. Audio sounds good. How's everybody trading? What do we happen? What's happening? What's happening in our small trading bubble? We kicking butt or what? Holy cow. The IRS already accepted my tax return and it'll be deposited in 3 days. Sweet. I got $1,000 more than I planned on originally. That's great. Maybe I'll buy a 100K funded account. Oh, look, Mr. Trader Mick, on 5-minute we got a signal. I have my alerts on 3-minute signals because I usually do the 3-minute signal, but I got it on a 5-minute instead. Interesting. This waiting is awful. I agree, Erica. Oh, look. We got a 3-minute signal. Now, I'm already leveraged pretty good on my trade, so I'm not going to do it. But if you guys got one, take it. Do sell and 7 on MES right now. 7 ticks right here. Whatever size you got, 7 ticks, and you'll get it. Okay, look, guys, we're progressing. We're making some progress. RSI is dropping. I watch this RSI a lot. When it's dropping, I love it when it goes from like 10 to 20 or from 20 to 40. That just tells you sellers are piling in. That train is leaving. We better jump through the window because that thing's heading out. We're in profit on NQ. We're almost back to break even on ES. Let's see what this does. Let's see what happens at this level here. If this strong level doesn't hold, we can see these levels. This next leg down is where we're going to be heading. You got $117 tax refund? Wow. I'll tell you what, man. 3 of my older kids, they're all filing taxes on their own, working on their own. Each one of them had to pay this year. Each one of them had to pay. So they're all excited to hear about the Trump tax removal thing. If that happens, then no more tax returns, but no more paying taxes. There's another 15% in your pocket if that works out. Now, what are the repercussions of that on the economy and the overall picture? Is that going to be good for us? I don't know. I don't know. I hope so. I don't want to talk too much about politics and religion, but there's some things Trump does I like, and there's some things he does I'm not real sure about. I hope to hell that he's making right decisions for our country. Okay, we're at break even, almost break even at ES. That if you guys took that scalp, you would have got it. That scalp hit already. I didn't do it because I've already leveraged pretty high. I could have done it. I mean, I got enough room, but I'm just going to hold. I want to see what happens here. Erica, this sucks. I know. You're right. This is kind of tough, but this is doing the work, too. Think about it like that. We're doing the work, and we're getting where we need to go. Sellers are on board. We're at negative 20 on MNQ. We're heading down. We're at negative 20 on ES2, guys. We're back to break even. We were 200 negative, 250 negative on that. No, actually, I think it was 300 when it hit the spike. Some of you guys might have been like, this dude's crazy. We're gonna lose a bunch of money on this thing. Well, we're back to even now. Let's just see if we can break this level down. Let's watch this. See what's going to happen here. Sellers are jumping in, though. That's the RSI, and the money flow is heading down. You got a scalp? Good. So where are you? You got 1743 for a tax return? Nice. Where are you at on your 50K account, Erica? If you don't mind showing that with us. I need to win this. Nice. Let's get it. Guys, I woke up this morning. I'm like, I'm going to go in there, and everybody on my chat's going to make money today. Okay, there's our 5 minute. That's our 5 minute downtrend RSI. We are 26 now, guys. Look at this. Sellers are adding to this. We're at 26 now. We were 10 5 minutes ago. Sellers are coming into the market. We're selling now. We are selling now. That scalp should have worked for you. If you're on the 3 minute and you got that signal, that scalp should have went through in like a minute, 2 minutes maybe. You got the scalp too? Nice. Good work. I'm telling you, those 3 minute scalps are freaking awesome. You set that at 7, you'll get 90% of those. They are amazing. I have done many times. I've done 5 in a row. And I'm just like, this is so easy. I cannot believe it works this well. That's where the metrics are awesome for that. But they don't show you that on the channel. I had to figure that out. I had to play with the numbers. I had to play with the time frame. And chop filter, MA filter, all that's important. So now you're at 50,300. Nice. We're going the right way. Do you have your daily trigger set on? Okay, trades are breathing a little bit. RSI is still climbing, and the price is just kind of breathing a little bit. So it's like I just envision it like a train. The guy stopped, he's letting more people in, and then he's going to go faster to make up for this time he stopped. I mean, it just helps you visualize it a little bit. We don't have any news coming up. All the major news is over for the week. I don't think there's... Yeah, all the major news is over for the week, so let's just hang tight. Okay, good. Yeah, keep that setting. That's so smart. I really commend you for that setting, because that's a really realistic number. It's something you can do every day. It'll get you to your goal. And once you're funded and you can't make that kind of cash, I'm sure that'll help you. $200 a day is $200 a day. That's a great number. I set mine at 500. I'm a little bit more aggressive, but 200 is great. Very, 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 very good level to shoot for. Okay, RSI is shrinking a little bit. You'll notice these candles like to breathe. We're still trend trading on 2 time frames. It's breathing a little bit. Yeah. Rand, 600 loss. What's your win? What'd you set the daily win at on that trade of 8? we're back to where the scalp level started, pretty close. Yeah, that scalp was a great one. Easy to get that one. When that signal populated, the next candle, you'd have got it in 3 minutes. That trade shouldn't even have took 3 minutes from when I called that and from when we got that signal. I'm already leveraged pretty good, so I didn't take it. I should have, but I mean, I could have just added on, I guess, but then it would just make it so I didn't have to go as far to hit my daily profit trigger. It's all good. I'm really happy. We'll wait. So Loran, you got your take profit and your stop loss the same on that. Then yeah, pretty close. So at those levels, Loran, you got to be using real small size, really small size, especially if you're on NQ. You got to be like one micro for your trades. Mr. Trader Mick, 350 done for the day. Awesome. You're consistent, man. You do good every day. Good for you. That's what I wanted this channel to be, is fellow traders that do similar, have similar mentalities, agree on similar things, can share trade ideas and share knowledge, and have that same goal in mind. Like that's what we want. All of us want to be that, man. We all want to get to our level and be done for the day. Good for you. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for being here. Well done. Well done. There you go, guys. There's a real guy. I'm pretty sure he's using the market metrics like we are. He just showed his profits for the day, and he's out of here. Good for him. Pat him on the back. Buy that guy a beer when you see him. You know, that's all of our goals. We all want to do that. We all want to do that. I know, and all of us want to pass fast. All of us do. I get it. Follow this channel. Follow the things we're showing. Follow the things we're doing, and you'll get there by consistency, not by speed. Think about it like that, my homie, my friend from Europe. We want to do this the smart way. We want to do this consistent way. And then you also want to be funded and have the same results too, right? It's so easy with trading, guys, to just want to swing and knock it out of the park. And you're just going to give, the prop firms will let you. They'll give you all the leverage in the world to hang yourself, because that's how they make money. They'll make so much money doing that. That's how they can afford the traders that make it to pay them, because they're making so much money. Their payouts are from people that lost. That's how they're paying us, you know? The people that were not consistent and are just buying eval after eval, that money turns around and goes to the traders that are making it. Well, some of it they keep, I'm sure, but a lot of it goes to the traders that they have to pay. But the ratio to paid traders versus non-paid traders is like 80 to 90% losers. That we're playing a game that only 10% of people win, if that. So when you see something like Mr. Trader Mick and he had his 350 for the day, man, congrats. That's great. So NQ right here, Tony, I have a pretty big take profit on that one. This is like the bottom spike down, but when we go into the 1 hour chart, we have some room down even further. If we scroll out a little bit, it's kind of hard to see it on the one screen, but look, there's a couple days ago it was down to that level. So we're just aiming for the, I'm just aiming for the recent low earlier today. I'm going to go up just a teeny bit so that you can see the supports down there. We're a little ways above that support. RSI shrinked quite a bit on us here, guys, but hopefully that's just more sellers buying in, trying to get some more bull pressure. There's not really a good support right here, so got NQ is a crazy thing, so it's a crazy asset to watch. It really is. There's some days I watch it and like, that makes no sense. Why did it do that? How did it do that? Like, there's no logical reason for those candles to be like that. At the end of the reason is it's looking for stop losses up and down. It's wanting money. That's how it makes money. That algorithm is a money making meat grinder. Okay, so we've got a couple scenarios here. That candle we just had was poking into the profit wave. Every time I've seen that, or not every time, but a lot of the time, when those profit waves get touched like that, the next two or three candles are complete opposite. Justin actually talked about that on his channel yesterday or the day before. So it's a retracement area. Not always. I wouldn't say always, but a lot of the times. And not only that, when I'm looking at that, I'm reading the price action. I'm reading the candlesticks themselves. So I'm getting more. I'm just looking at the whole picture here. I would never just trust one thing. I think that's the thing I try to get through people's heads is so many people get focused on one thing, like, oh, can you just trade the background color? Yes, you could, but you're going to see earlier that won't work. You'll find out why that doesn't work. It looks good when you look at it, just looking at it. But when you actually place the trades and get in and out when you're supposed to, you're going to lose. It's not going to work. Okay, it's poking into the 21, Tony, and the profit wave there. And like I was just saying, a lot of times when I see that, and we're in a downtrend or uptrend, whatever, then the next two candles usually poke down pretty hard. So let's see if that happens. Let's see what's going to happen here. This may be one of those days we have to just be patient and wait for it, right? Could have sold off the 200 too. I used to do that a lot in Forex. I'd just use the 200 and I'd sell and buy off that all the time. That works pretty good. That's why I held, because I didn't see it break the 200. And on the 1 hour chart, if it's not going to break the 200 and we're trading with the trend. That's what we're doing. My MES trade got all the way back to zero, and now we're back a little bit. We're in the profit wave on that one too, so we're just going to watch it. I don't want this thing getting too out of control against us, but we're going to watch it. Like I said, it might be one of those things we got to wait for, right? There is no, it's not, some days it's faster than others. Some days it's going to move really quick against us. Some days it's going to float in the middle before it decides to drop. Some days it just doesn't go where you plan, no matter what you do. Those days you just have to be, that's when it comes into play of being really good with your risk management. And knowing when some days when the market doesn't look good to trade and you're just not winning at all, just walk away, be done, because otherwise you're going to buy an eval or lose your own money if you're trading your own money. Okay, my stream just cut out on me for just a second there. That's the first time I've seen it today. So just reset it here, guys. Okay, price action. We're getting some pretty good wicks on the tops here. But I don't want us to get in any bad situations. So if you're in NQ, use a tight stop loss. If you're not comfortable holding it, I don't blame you. It makes me nervous as hell, even at 1 micro. That pair is crazy. It is very difficult to trade. All the analysis in the world sometimes does not matter. I mean, it just has its own brain. So if it goes against us, it goes against us. I mean, if you want to get out, get out. I'm hanging tight for a bit. I'm still seeing some good downward play, but we just may have to wait for it. I mean, yesterday was a long stream. I was streaming a long time yesterday. We put the work in yesterday. We really did. We sat here and we analyzed and analyzed and analyzed, and I was getting tired towards the end of the stream. I was ready to get up and walk around and get some fresh air, because we'd been in here a long time looking at the charts, and I don't want to get snow blind. It's real easy to get snow blind staring at the same chart all day. Who have we got that's new today? We got any new members today? Got any new people following the stream today that have first time members? I am doing some Google advertising, so we'll probably start seeing some new people because the ads are reaching all over the world. I targeted Europe, I targeted Australia, and I targeted the Philippines, Canada, South America. I didn't really do much with Africa for no particular reason. I mostly just thought that was plenty of demographic to shoot for. Maybe one of the next advertisings I'll run some down that way and see what happens. DJI in the air. Nice. New here. All right. Are you a drone guy, DJI in the air? I have a DJI FPV drone, the race drone. That's pretty fun. Nice to meet you. Nice to have you here. Thank you for being here. Give like to JJ. Thank you, Lorand, my new friend. Thank you. Loran's a good dude, guys. He's a consistent guy. He's here on the stream pretty consistently. We're getting a few regulars. I like it. I like to see the regulars pop back in. I like to meet the new people too. So I'm just hoping this is valuable. What I'm trying to bring is a value to you guys. I'm trying to show you how I use these metrics. The kit's awesome. Some tweaks and you're going to make it even better. The way I've done it has just been super consistent and really worked well for me. So I really want to grow my business. I really want to get several funded accounts and start making some decent returns on payouts. And I think this is how we're going to get there. Okay, we were to 25 on our SI. Now we're back down to around 10 on NQ, and we're still at 16 on MES. Yeah, so let's see. You know, like I said, guys, some days we have to wait for it. There is no shortcut. Other days it's fast moving. Some days it's real turtle. I've seen lots of Fridays where it just, once it picks a trend, it just trends, and you can just ride that thing all day. Those are pretty easy trade days, to really be honest with you. Once you get in with everybody else, you just ride it. A lot of traders love Fridays for that. I know people that just trade Friday. Just trade Friday. You can make a week's wage in Friday pretty easy. I have got payouts before. Around, yes. So I used to trade Forex back in the day. I did that for a long time. I always had it as a side gig, making extra money type of deal. And with futures, I've got paid about $1,500. Is all. I've got funded 3 different times with 3 different accounts, and I've made about $1,500. I probably should get the payouts and put them all together and make sure I'm telling you right. I actually might have made more than that, but I know I've made $1,500. And I'll be realistic with you too. I've bought probably 10 or 12 evals, and I've passed. Of those 12, I've passed 3 of them. And then of the 3 that I've passed, I've done 2 of them with simple market metrics. So use that knowledge, right? Nice, yeah. That's why I'm here. That's why this channel is what's doing what it's doing, because this is one of the best systems I've ever used. I've seen a lot of stuff too. I've done a lot of different things. I actually really got big into automated trading. I actually was trying to be a big automated trade guy. And not just on the trading side. I wanted to be a developer. I had some developers working with me, and we were making some software that was kick butt. It was doing some really good things. It cost a fortune, though. I spent a lot of money in development fees for MT4. And now MT4 is going to be phased out, so it's kind of dumb. But it's all right. This is good. I'm happy with this. This works well for me. So that big spike down was incredible. We saw a pretty good jump down, and the RSI didn't really change that much. So if RSI starts going with that, we could see some movement now. Both NQ and ES. I'm to break even, so now I'm just working on hitting my profit goal. I just buy like 30 none of pass. After I find MSS, SSM, already passed 1. Awesome, Rand. So that helped you. It definitely made a difference for you. It helped me too, man. And I've been trading a lot, doing a lot of stuff in my life. I traded options for a while there too. That was kind of crazy, learning about the Greek stuff and how things change over time. And I didn't really do very well at that. I didn't really like that as much as I do like this kind of trading. Rand, all of us do it, man. Follow what we're teaching here, and you should do a lot better. We're more about consistent results than swinging it out, knocking it out of the park. A lot of the other channels, man, they show you big numbers, and they kind of mislead you. And I don't want to do that. I want to be like a real channel that helps people and teach them some good strategies that are actually going to translate to real live experience that's going to help them, not just this. I have an idea. I want to make $10,000 a day and have a Lambo outside. You know, I don't have a Lamborghini, and if I had the money, I wouldn't buy one. It's not something I want to do. A lot of other things I'd do with the money before I did that. I would invest in a charity before I did that. I really would. That's just my personality, though. Okay, good deal. Good deal, good deal. Well, we're just kind of floating, guys. We're not really going up or down. The last half hour, we've kind of stayed in this little teeny range here. So these big spikes have looked promising, but then it just kind of goes back to the 21. Why am I seeing money flow on 1 hour is green on both of these? Prefer to see this all red, especially on the 1 hour. It's probably why this green right here is probably why we're just floating. We've got multiple time frames fighting each other. Sorry, I got a conversation with my wife here. Yeah, I'm not liking not liking what we're seeing here. If you're in NQ, I would not hold it much longer just to be safe. I mean, it's you know, I just don't want anybody to get clear up here and be like, man, I lost a lot on that one. You know, all the plotting and planning in the world, we can hope, and then it still goes against us. Like I said, there's no support right here, so on either of them, we barely touched the support on ES, but there's nothing on NQ. But prices, you know, the NQ does some weird stuff. I've seen it just do random weird stuff. So I mean, if we need to get out, we'll get out, and we'll see what we can find for the next one. You know what I mean? It's not. I'd rather control it when it's small, get out when it's small, than try to hold on to a monster. I think all of us can appreciate that. Anybody who's held a trade too long knows exactly why I'm saying that. NQ, gold. Man, gold moved huge today. It's crazy. Let's look at our end. God, this might be going up, guys. Sucks because I had okay, I'm going to take my loss here.
Order filled.
I'm just not liking how this is shaping up against us. We didn't really get to the levels I wanted to, you know? So, but I don't want to be trying to catch, you know, looking at these. God, 10 minutes ago I was at break even too. I just lost 200 and something bucks, and I was at break even 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes ago. Frustrating. Yeah, frustrating. Like I said, we can do all the plotting and planning in the world, but look how much, this is what we started the stream out with. Look how much difference. We had this red. It's all triple R. Look how much difference these candles are, all in the red. So that's what's kind of deceiving, is because you look at it and you're like, okay, these should just move down in the red, and they actually can move against you quite a ways. That's what people don't realize. So if you sold here, you'd have took a loss on that red, which everything lines up as a trend trade. We should have been a good trend. That should have moved down. Same thing here earlier today, and this latest spike down too. So we're just in a range, and I got out. I got out on all of it. So I took a little loss. Yeah, I took a $275 loss for both of them. But you know what? Looking at this, it looks like we're going to go up now. You know, and we pivoted in a weird spot too. I really felt like that was going to be a good one for us, but we pivoted in a really weird spot. But like I said, guys, it's better to get out, take your losses sooner. So here's another thing too. The metrics are saying to get out, right? On our 5-minute chart, we got green now. So trying to trade stuff like this, I mean, there's no way to really not take a loss, because it's all red. It should have been down, but it went up against us. And on 1-minute chart, I'm sure this was a nightmare. Yeah, I'm sure this was a nightmare on 1-minute chart. I mean, if you were lucky and you started buying 10 minutes ago, you'd be okay. But through this, how do you make anything right here? Right here? I don't even think you made anything there. You might have got something here. You might have got, that's a little bit of room. You might have got something there. But I don't see how you make it. I've never done good on 1 minute. Never done good on 1 minute. Yes, Gary, nice to meet you here. Thank you for being here. Yes, you are. I use them all the time too. Yes. Yep. Well, I'll say this, Gary. Check with the prop firm, because some prop firms turn that off on purpose. I'm pretty sure. I had a conversation with a guy the other day, and that area was grayed out on theirs, and they said that their prop firm told them they don't allow that. So my funded futures and take profit and Tradeify, I've used all of it. I've used it on all of them, and I use it all the time. You can look at my other live streams and you can see that I use it all the time. So yes, to answer your question, yes. Yeah, this is moving hard against us, guys. I'm glad we got out. I just didn't like how fast the RSI changed on us, and we were, floating in this little range here. It's showing everything we don't want to see. That's why we got out. So a small loss. We've had all week. I've had wins every day. This is the first. If I closed right now and I'd closed in a loss, this would be the first day I lost this week. Every other day I pulled profit out. But yeah, Gary, to answer your question, I use that every day. I use that every day. That's my goal actually, is to make my Trade-Evate daily profit trigger kick. That's how I know I had a successful day. So that's my goal every day. Let's take a look at gold and see what's happening on gold. Okay, gold, if we look at 1 hour chart, we're quite a ways down from our top. But we are above 200. Turn my signals on. I may grab a gold trade. Yeah, I think we're going to go up here in a little bit. I'm going to grab a gold trade. Once I get an RSI signal, I'm going to grab a gold trade. I'm going to switch over to gold. I'm not liking the look at this, guys. I'm glad we got out. Even 5 minutes ago would have made a huge difference. That's kind of why I look at my other charts, because they're just naked. There's no indicators or anything on them. But sometimes I look at that, I'm like, oh, wow, we got to get out. And then sure enough, when the simple market metrics kicked over, it said the same thing. Right, DJI in the air. Right. Okay, there's our up signal on MES. So I'm glad that we got out sooner than that. If I'd have waited for that signal, we'd be double as in a loss. We'd be a lot further behind. So, and now a stronger. This is actually a different color now than it was earlier. It was lighter, and now it's a little bit darker. So that was a pretty strong support right there. So, like I said, I love the metrics because I feel like I can read this chart where I get out soon. So if we do take a loss, it's small. If I'd have held on to that, it'd be double what it is now. Double than when I took it, right? Now, a lot of times too, you'll watch and later on, it's just this up, down, up, down, up, down, and then it drops where you were planning anyway. That's fairly common, I would say. I've got my RSI alert set on gold. On the 1 hour chart, it is still in an uptrend. It just bounced a couple hours ago. It bounced off the 200, and it's been rising ever since. This next candle, the next hour candle, I wouldn't be surprised if this starts turning green within the next hour or two. But how much room? We've only got a couple hours left in the market. We've got about 5 hours left in the market. So will we get this, or will we get? I know, Tony. I feel the same way. See, I hate trading NQ. It'd be real easy to make up a small loss, but NQ just moves so fast. Even it, the metrics, it will move against the metrics so fast. But I don't know. I think I'm just gonna look for. I'm not really liking what I see on these two today. This is kind of nasty. Anytime you see stuff like this, I stay away from this. I don't really like trying to trade in here. There's no. I try to find deals like this. When we're looking on this chart, that's what I want to try and get into. And the setup is the same. The setup here and the setup here is the same, but the result is different. So you never know what the end result's going to be, so you have to manage it and get in and get out when you can. I don't do live on Twitch, no. My son does. He plays games on Twitch. He does a couple streams a week on Twitch. He helped me a little bit with my stream. But I personally don't, Loran, no. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good spike down right off market open. Will it recoup to that level? That's what I'm wondering if, when I first looked at this, I thought, man, we might. I can see this resistance up here. Gold makes me nervous too. Like I've had some really good days on gold, and it's like NQ. Some days I hate the damn thing. I wanted to end my week with my profit trigger getting hit, so I'm just trying to figure out if I can. Man, I'm glad we got out of those guys. Sorry, that's not what I really. We did all of our work. We did everything we could. The setup is the same. Like I said, the setup looks very similar, and it just didn't pan out. That's trading for you. Now we're having some real good spikes on that thing. Really, really good spikes. We're gonna hit the. We're gonna go back to entry for sure. Yeah, we'll hit this resistance. I think pretty solid. Today may just be one of those days that it ranges all day. It might not trend at all. Just because it trends most of the time doesn't mean it does every time. So that's just how it goes. Like I said, I'd just shake it off. It's not a big deal. I'll just do my diligence and find another setup. Let's find a good setup and find something that's maybe going to take us where we need to. I just want that. My goal is that daily profit trigger. That's what I look for. I want that good daily profit trigger to get hit, so I'll trade what I got to trade to get me there. Man, glad we got out, guys. See that the metrics here, we got out really, really close to this green one. We were like here, and I could see what it was doing. But if you'd have held on to this, thinking, oh, it's going to go down, it's still going to go down, and had some bias in your head, like it paralyzes your fingers so you can't make any trades, you'd be buying a new account now. So that $200 would have been $1,000 by now. Yeah, NQ is ridiculous. I agree. I don't. It's my least favorite thing to trade of the three that I trade. This kind of stuff is to take people out. I mean, that's why we hate it, because it's killed us before. You know, that's what it's designed to do. That's what they're wanting. They're wanting it to kill people. They're wanting it to take money. That's how they make money. Okay, 1 hour's on. I thought I saw it was over 200. Let's see if we can get a push up on gold. I want to see what the... I'm going to buy gold. Yeah, I'm going to buy some gold right here. This looks like a good level. Let's get a pretty good gold buy going. Let's do 3. Let's do 100. Stop loss 100. So 600, 600. That'll get me to my daily if I hit the take profit.
Order filled.
We're very close. So price is going to hunt this 200, looks like. Yeah, it's spiking. It's spiking super hard. I could see it was once it crossed this 21. That's why I like this naked chart sometimes, because I can just, it's very simple. Just candles and an RSI. Or a EMA and RSI down here. But yeah, for a 5-minute chart, that's an aggressive set. For no news, that's an aggressive move right there. It just closed that gap. Gold's looking good for a buy. I'm pretty happy with this buy. Let's see how this pans out. All right. All right. Anybody else buying gold? Anybody else in a gold trade right now? It'd be good if gold can close that gap. That'd be really good for a trade right here. we go. Taking off in profit. I got some size on it. It's a pretty good size trade. It's bigger than I usually do, but I want to end my stream I want to end my stream good today. I want to end in profits, so yeah, you're right, Ray. You said that earlier too, and it didn't quite do it then, but it did now. Yeah, so this is what's tricky. Everybody thought it was going to hit the opening range when it did this, and then it went backwards. So this kind of stuff is killing us all. It's playing with both sides of the fence, right? It's playing with the buyers and the sellers. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. There's our signal, guys. There's our toast alert on gold. So gold hit. It's 22 RSI. We break this level here, and I'm thinking we'll scoot up towards the... This is a good resistance up here, but it's close to 200 too. So... At least the opening range. Like Ray just said, it's going to go to the opening range for sure. Now that it's broke the 200 and held, this resistance is my first spot. That's like so. Just looking at this is kind of a mid resistance. This is a hard resistance. So if this breaks, this probably will hold. But it could trend all the way. I mean, we could go clear. You know, that last spike right there was pretty incredible. That was a pretty good move for 20 minutes. We went from here to here in 20 minutes. 56,666 to 56.98, almost 57. 56, yeah, almost 57. So that's a pretty good move in 25 minutes. So tough to say. Tough to say. I think I'm just going to bank on my gold trade today. Oh, son of a bee. I didn't want to do that. Gold futures June. I think I was on the June contract. No, I wasn't. I was on the main one. Maybe I should switch it to the gold main. Yeah. It's okay. I hate when I accidentally click and delete the label. Guess I could. There's the June contract. more to it, and then we'll just watch it.
Order filled.
Might keep you by my side. Yeah. Let's see how gold pans out for us, guys. I'm gonna hang back on MES and NQ. Buyers would have got murdered here. Sellers got killed here. I think opening range is raised right on the money with that. We're almost there. And you'd have every reason to believe that right here too. I could see exactly where he got that info because I kind of wondered if it'd do it too. We didn't quite have the power there, but this stuff right here is looking for retail guys to die. We're taking both out, and then they're going to move price one way or the other. So, yeah. $57.05. I think it was a little higher than that. I think it was these resistance lines. Yeah, you're right. That's the mid one. The ultimate high one's like 17.20, somewhere's in there. I doubt we'll. I mean, it could, but I don't think we'll get this high. It could though. I mean, I could be wrong. But yeah, this is weird. What the area to watch next? If this breaks through, then yeah, you're heading here somewhere. Wouldn't that be crazy though if it went to here and then just dumped, absolutely dumped? I guess we'll see. I've had a couple scalps go through today. God, we went all the way back to break even, and then that went against us. I think when I started looking at that money flow made me nervous. You can see that about 10 minutes before that started going up, I was looking at that money flow, and I didn't like how that looked. I saw that one little spike, and it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I thought, well, there's two time frames fighting each other, so... And it wasn't even 10 minutes later that price started spiking on us. So that's kind of when I started thinking, okay, this might not work out. But I'm glad we got out when we did. I mean, you know, trading is playing chess. So the ones we don't win, the game is the ones we don't win, we want that to be as small as possible. The ones we do win, we want that to be as big as possible. That's our mentality. My personal mentality is let's hit that daily profit trigger. Let's smash that sucker, you know? Let's make that thing sing. Let's make Trade of 8 say order field, and that means you're done. Or when you try to place a trade again, it says order rejected. That's because you hit your daily goal and it's going to not let you trade anymore. It's saying go outside, you idiot. Go do something else. Okay, gold's progressing up. We got to look for this level here to break. This little spike right here. That was the recent high, 3,023. Actually, I got to see which contract it actually is. It should be it should be this one. That should be the real one. This June contract looks like it's off. Yeah, the pricing's off. That's not the real pricing. That's why I did two trades, and one of them cost more, so it was this one here. So we'll just put this to like right here and get that one to spike up and get out of that trade just to pay for the fees. That's what I was trying to find out. That's why I did that. I'm gonna shoot for at least break even, which break even for me is still 600 up, 575 up, whatever it was, 525 I think it was from yesterday. I mean, I'd like to be up 2 days, 2 wins in a row, 2 days in a row, but I'm gonna probably move my stop to protect these trades once they get to a certain level, because I want to just protect my win. I don't want another loss today. Okay, gold's progressing up. We're just about to break that level. If we can break that level, we should keep rising. Actually, that last candle did break that level, just barely, but it did. RSI is gaining. We're at 31 now. When I started the trade, we were at 12, 13. So it's important to watch that. All our small time frames are good for buys. You can see on the just naked chart here. Aiming for 30-30. We want to get some spike action going on here. We want that thing to climb. Everybody in the world wants to get a hold of me today. Nice job, Corey. That's what it takes, man. Yeah, doing the work, isn't it? Yep, doing the work. It is frustrating. I get it. It's frustrating when you plot and plan and then it doesn't work out. And then there's other days it seems to be super easy. Like you just enter and you just go, you know. That's trading, though. It's like that on purpose. It is definitely it's a challenge. Every day is a different challenge. But yeah, good for you, man. That is discipline. Nice. Nice. Good job. I don't know how much you've been on the stream today, but we've took one loss when we caught this. We were looking for some down action here on MES, and then it spiked against us hard, so we got out with a little loss. And 20 minutes later, that would have been double or triple. So I'm glad we got out when we did. And we're just kind of watching gold, see if we're going to get some buy action in today. We did break this little level here, this little recent high. Sunk really hard this morning. It was up to 345 this morning, and now it's at 320, 3020. So hoping to retrace a little bit, capture some of that, but we'll see. We'll see. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. That's what I'm looking at. I don't really want this to turn around on me and do another loss, but some days just are hard, you know. Just everything you do just doesn't work out. Doesn't matter what tool you're using or what strategy you're using. Those days I'll get like this late in the day and it's not working out that great, and I'll just cut it, man. Because if not, you just start making bad decisions and put yourself in a worse situation, and nobody needs that. Been streaming about 2.5 hours, so man, my YouTube channel is doing great, guys. Thank you again for the support. My YouTube channel is doing really well. I've been getting views like crazy. I've been running some ads. I do want to reach some more customers. I am wanting to be a #1 affiliate for Simple Market Metrics. I believe the tool is a very good tool, especially the way I use it and some of the mods I made. So, but yeah, my YouTube channel is doing really well. It's actually been impressive to see, just posting videos and showing what I'm seeing and doing what I'm doing, how much traction my YouTube channel's getting. I'm about a third the way to monetized, and most of that happened since February. Looking at my analytics, like the first or second week of February, videos started catching the algo and started getting seen, and people started engaging, and things just started changing. I paid a little bit for some ads. I paid some money for a few ads just to run some ads here and there. That was weird. Screen just blacked out on me. But yeah, looking for some more sales. Like to sell some of that. Get some of that affiliate sales on the Simple Market Metrics. Oh, I appreciate it, Corey. Thank you. I popped in there a couple times. I joined the Discord the other day too. I popped in there a couple times. I may get in there this afternoon and just kind of chat with some people. And I actually had some people reach out to me from the Discord, and like we were talking at the beginning of the channel, we were talking about some of the issues they've been having using Simple Market Metrics and some of the frustrations they've had. And I've had a lot of that. I've had more people contact me that already own Simple Market Metrics, trying to get it figured out, than actually new customers. Yeah, I would say it's at least 50-50, but I would almost say it's more. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is more. If I actually were to count, I think there's more people that have wanted help with it that have already bought it than new customers. Okay, RSI is sinking. We're right on a support. Just barely under our entry. Floating on that 21. Got a pretty good spike about 10 minutes ago. fizzled out. So, God, we might just be. This just might not be our day. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now. I don't know if I want to enter anymore. I'm already down more than I want to be. I mean, I'm still up for the account, but I'm down for the day. God, that was a hell of a spike on NQ. That completely closed the range and then some. Opening range and then some. So yeah, we took 265 and then on NQ about 60. And I had added to my ES too. That sucked because it looked like I was going to go down, so I added some more. I had more on there than I probably should have. I'm just glad I managed that well, because if not, that would have really been a bad deal for me. Would have really hurt us. We're looking to go up, not down. Price wise, account wise. Okay, I'm gonna watch this trade. Here's my plan for the day. We got 15 minutes till the next candle. I'm going to watch this trade about 15 minutes. If this isn't going to go anywhere, I'm probably going to be done trading for the day. The stream's already almost 3 hours. That's a long time to stream and sit in one place and just stare at charts. So if it's not our day, it's not our day. And you know what? Knowing that and having that kind of discipline is important. Some days are just not going to be our days, guys. That's just how it is. There's no way to win every single day flawlessly. I wish there was, but there's not. Anybody selling that to you is selling that to you. There's going to be a pretty price tag that comes with that, and then you'll be disappointed to find out it's not real. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm just recognizing, Andre. I'm not worried about that. I'm just recognizing that if I'm this late in the day and we're not getting close to our goals and we're down and things aren't just looking that great or that hot, I won't stay. It's not gonna happen today, and it's fine. We'll just take our L. Like I said, we're still up for the account, but we're down for the day, and we survived a trading day. Think about that. How many times have people lost their trading account, and looking back, they wish they would have done things different, and we're doing things different, so we still have an account. We're living to trade another day, and that might be just how today goes. Let's see, though. I want to see what this next candle is going to do, this next hourly candle. Gold is right on a support, just kind of floating there. I don't see it really going up or down. We're just kind of floating. There's not a lot of volume. Glad I didn't sell NQ and MES at those levels, guys. I think it's going to raise. I think we were way... I don't even want to trade it, to be honest with you. I don't like what I'm seeing today. This is just not what I like to see. This would have been a great trade to catch. We started to have one form here, and it went back against us. We started to have one form here, and it went back against us. This is what tipped me off, too. This money flow on the 60-minute. This is when I started seeing this right around here and thinking, uh-oh. And look how much this moved against us, even in the red. If you go triple R. See, triple R doesn't always work. It's not, I think a lot of people are frustrated with that because, okay, this is triple R here, this is triple R here, but how come it went against us? This is all triple greens. Well, then how come it went against us? Look how far. If you'd have bought here, you'd have barely broke even on this sell. You'd have made some money at one point, but if you'd took a loss when you're supposed to, or got out when you're supposed to, you'd have broke even. This one you'd be in profit, but it's not always like that. I could easily spike down and be back to zero again. But the guys that are looking for where that's going, it's going to at least here. We break here, then watch this level. You guys should have all these dots on your charts. I put them to dots. I think they were something else at the beginning. I put them to dots. So watch these levels for dots, right? Watch those levels to see where you're going to go. ES just barely, didn't even tag this. See this right here. Zoom in on this. This is why I put my targets right below or right above. That little spike there didn't touch the line. It was a little bit above. So I try to always put my targets above that, just right above it. I'd rather miss a little bit here than have it spike all the way against us and not get the trade at all. Yep. Okay. I got out in profit on MES. Good. Needed to get the money. Yep, there you go. There you go. That was a pretty gnarly spike against us, not going to lie. Like I said, I started getting nervous when I saw that. When I saw that the 1 hour money flow was going against us, it looked like it was going to push up. And I'm just glad we got out when we did. We got out really well. That could have killed your account. Yeah, that's a good question, Corey. How do you use SMM, or do you? I mean, he might have it, but he might not use it all the way, or he might use a different thing. I notice a couple people too. They have multiple strategies. They don't just use SMM. They've bought it. They know what it is. They use it sometimes, or they have an idea of it, but they might use something else completely. This is my number one strategy now. The way I have this set up, this worked really well for me, so I don't plan on changing anything else. And I respect everybody. Whatever strategy you use, great, good for you. If it works for you, great. There's so many ways. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. You know what I mean? I'm just pimping what works for me and just keeping rolling with what works for me and what's worked well for me in the past and kept me safe. I can't stress that enough. I can't tell you how many times I've got out, and I'm just glad I did. And that's as important as the wins. Nice, Corey. Thank you. Good job, Tony. Done for the day at 200. Nice. This trade progresses for us. I'm going to be done for the day too. We're getting late enough in the day. I want to be done trading, and I'm going to catch what I can and walk away with my account intact. So DCAing is tough. I've really tried. My strategy is very anti-DCAing. I will do it occasionally, but a very, very rare. And I found that using the RSI like I do, I don't really need to. You know what I mean? They're just what I'm seeing. Just like today, how we've done it. I see what's good, and I go for it. And if it doesn't work out, I get out. You know, not every day is going to be a winner. And that's the thing, too. People just got to realize, and you have to be okay with that. I said earlier, when you enter a trade, you got to be good with where you're entering, what your possible profit's going to be, and what your possible profit's not going to be. Right? You got to be. I'm going to win 200. I'm going to lose 200, and just be okay with that. That's just what you got to be okay with. And then if if the day's not going your way, get out sooner than later. Don't let that monster turn into an account killer. Too many people really struggle with that. It's just discipline. But I'm telling you, the prop firms are going to want to see that too. They'd rather you have a small loss day than be buying prop counts. If you bought 20 prop accounts from them and then you finally pass, they're still going to be hesitant. Don't tell me they're not going to be. They're still going to be hesitant. They'll get it to you, but they're going to watch you. They're going to watch you close. And if you have some bad habits like DCAing, a lot of people think that's a really bad habit. If you have that as a habit, they're going to frown on that too. Some companies might not let you. Apex there for a while, they wouldn't give people payouts if you did that. DCA is dollar cost averaging. It's where you enter a trade and then it goes against you, and then you keep entering that same direction as it goes against you. So the thinking is if you add more to it, then, so back when Forex we used to do that, like if you entered a trade and it went against you, say $100, and you entered the same size and at that $100 negative, and then it came back against you, you'd only have to go $50 to break even. And then if it went back to your original break even, you were up $50. So the problem is it uses more margin every time you do that. And so if it keeps going against you, and that's why they don't like that, is because usually when you're doing that, you're on the wrong side of the trend. And if you're on the wrong side of the trend, it's going to just keep going against you. So you're just adding more to the negative. And so you'll have 2, and then it'll go up another 100. So instead of being just 200 down, you're 400 down. And then it goes further, 600 down. You add another one, and next thing you know, you're 3,000 down. And if you just understood the trend, you wouldn't have done that to begin with. So I've done it before. I make sure that I analyze things really close if I'm going to do that. I used to do it a lot in Forex. I can't tell you how many trades I was negative $1,000 and I'd DCA, and then I'd get to like the middle. I'd go halfway back, and it wasn't going to go all the way to my original, so I'd just take half. So I turned a $1,000 loss into like a $400 or $500 loss by DCAing. But yeah, it's crazy. Andre, I'll try to use the RSI too. Yes, look at my video that says chart setup. That chart setup video shows you how to set up the RSI like I do and how to use it. Just the best thing I can recommend to you for Andre is look at some of my videos. Watch some of my videos. I do the same thing pretty much every day, guys. I just look at the same stuff every day, and most days we get good winners out of it. So, but I'm looking for the same thing. I really just rinse and repeat, and that's a secret to success. You trade like a robot, rinse and repeat. Find good setups and capitalize on them, and cut your losses sooner than later. If you don't have a good setup, get out of it as soon as you can. Wait for another one, and that's so hard for people to do. That's like forcing people to breathe. You know, it's really hard for people to get that through their head. But after a while, it's really easy. It's really easy. For me, it's easy. I just look at the chart, and I don't even, the loss doesn't really bother me anymore. And I'm really glad I'm to that level, because losses used to really bother me, and it put me in a bad mental state where I would do stupid stuff and then I'd blow accounts, or I'd lose my own money. When I was trading Forex, I was trading my own money. At one point I had like 8 accounts. Each of them had like $5,000 in them. And I had it in my head I was going to be a millionaire that way. And I ended up losing all that. Overtrading, leveraging, DCAing. We used to do a lot of hedging back in the day. There was all kinds of stuff that robots could let you do. I invested in a robot one time, guys, that a guy in like Thailand helped me build. It was supposed to make $15,000 a day, right? It was a micro scalper, and it would work for 24 hours a day. I lost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on that. I was going to market it. I was going to be this big marketing genius and do all these crazy things with it. I lost tons and tons and tons of money. I learned some very, very, very painful, hard, expensive lessons. And so the reason I'm telling you that, because now the lessons it taught me now have made me a lot more disciplined and a lot more structured trader. So all that expense was putting me through Forex training college, right? I'm a master's degree of Forex training and life lessons and how you throw big bags of money at something and never see them again. That's why I'm really trying to hammer home hit home the message to just be super careful. Get out sooner than later and hold those winners longer. Like yesterday, we held that trade for 3 hours. It was a long trading session, but we got it. We hit it. We made it. That discipline got us where we needed to be. And we were safe. It was a safe trade. We were on the trend. Just like today, we did everything right. It just went with us. And I would have killed it yesterday if it didn't too. Same strategy. I do the same thing. I look for the same things every day. So yeah, Andre, look at my library. There's tons of videos where I just rinse and repeat, man. Rinse and repeat. Right, a lot of it. Yeah, you're looking for money flow. You're looking for volume and money flow. If you look at the red, like that's sellers, we're joining the sellers, and if you look at the green, that's buyers, and we're joining the buyers. That's the very, very easy way to look at it. Very, very simple. You're right. DCA is very bad. Wait for the better entry. I killed several accounts by DCA. Everybody does DGI in the air. It's really, really bad. Adding to a loser winner. It's gambling. It's hoping your losing trade's going to get better by adding more to the losing trade. I mean, it's not a good strategy. And the problem is too, you don't understand if you're adding to a loser, it's because you're not looking at the right picture. You're not understanding what the trend's doing. You're not understanding what trading. You know what I mean? You're not looking at something right, and you're just adding to something that's going to make it worse for you. They want to see somebody who can do like we're doing. They want to see somebody who can look at any market any day and capitalize on the wins and minimize the losers. DCAing is just throwing money at the chart. Could it go for you, DCAing? Absolutely. But will it? Most likely, probably not. Nice, 3 days. State accepted your tax return and the federal accepted your tax return, so I'll have some money in 3 days. Nice. Yeah, Corey, what are you on Justin's Discord? I think he said you were. He said he gave me a shout out the other day on there. Okay, we're getting a little bit of RSI spike. Is it enough to get the price to move where we want it? We spiked above this level. This is my level I'm looking at. We did spike above it. Can we break that level again? If we break that level again, hopefully we can get to this resistance here. That'll get me where I need to be. That's all I need for today. It's pretty late in the trading day. I don't like trading clear to the end of the market, guys. A lot of people do that. I see a lot of live streamers they'll go power hour and do all that. I don't do that. Let's get our money as soon as we can and get off. You know what I mean? And that's experience talking, because every time I've sat there for 8 hours, I usually was in the negative. I'm like, man, if I'd have just cut this earlier, I'd still have my profits. We're human beings. We get tired. We get snowblind. We get hyper-focused on the wrong things at times. And you start making bad decisions. We're humans. That's just nature. That's just our nature. We get tired. We have, you stare at the same chart over and over again. You start seeing the same thing and just not focusing on what's important. Believe me when I tell you, I lost so much money because I didn't know. What I wish, if I could go back to my Forex days knowing what I know now, I would have done things so different. And I honestly could maybe be a millionaire. My demo account on here, I went from 50K to 390K. And most of that, I would say over half of that, I did using the simple market metrics for that month or two that I was playing with it and adjusting it. And I saw potential in it, and I was kind of frustrated with it at first. I didn't really do much with it the first couple of weeks, and then as I started playing with it on different frames and adding a few things and adjusting some things. I mean, I have a whole library of indicators. Look at this. I got 50 indicators right here. And all these that are starred, I have had them on a chart. I've used them. I've played with them. Somebody recommended them. A video said they were good. I've tried tons of things. And that's just since I've had TradingView in the last 18 months. My old MT4, I have another computer in my office. It's now deactivated, but on that software, on that hard drive, there's probably 1,000 indicators. that I've used over the years. I used to have indicators that were built by Russian people and Japanese people, and some that all the coding and stuff was in a different language. So like I couldn't figure out. I didn't know. What I did is I had that coder guy take it from that language and make it into an English language, so we could read it and read the text and understand what it says, what changes what. But they worked really well. I'll tell you what, some of the best indicators I've seen came out of Japan. I'll tell you that right now. Some of the best indicators I've ever seen have came out of Japan. Those guys know what they're doing. Very, very heavy math based. And that seems to work really well for that kind of stuff. Not a lot of volume right now. You're right. Corn Dog 1345. Okay, I'll watch for that, Corey. I'm not really either. I haven't really done much with Discord over the years. I just never got into that. 100 ticks a day. Lose 100 ticks. That's, you know what? If you can stick with it, that's a great metric, Andre. It's where people mess up is they don't stick with that. I mean, it sounds good on paper and it looks good, but if they lose 100, they don't stick with it. They try to get that 100 back and break even. Next thing you know, you're 500 down, so you're trying to get that 500 back. Next thing you know, you're buying a new account. All of us, anybody listening to me, they've done that before. All of us know that sad story. What really sucks, it's one thing if you bought a prop firm for $100 or $150 and you blow that account after a week of playing with it. That sucks. When you have 3 accounts that have $5,000 of your own money in them and that disappears, that's a whole other level of depression and psychotic events. Okay, I was going to check the 1 hour candle. Okay, RSI dropped quite a bit that last hour. That's what I was looking for. We are over the 200 on gold. This line, you can draw a line here and you can see the RSI is shrinking on the 1 hour. Now, does that mean we're going to have enough power to get where we need to be? I don't know. It's Friday. I'd love it to see that. I want it to clear this level. If it can clear this level, then hopefully we can fly. And I don't know if we'll get that high. I really don't. But I'm gonna. If we were still down around break even, I'd just call it. I was really thinking serious about that. Just calling it for the day, and it's just not a winning day. Taking my $200 loss and walking away. I had 4 winning days this week. So after I lost my account, I had 4 winning days. 3 winning days. I lost one day. I didn't trade one day when I was looking for an account. I just it was a demo. I won on my demo account, but I didn't have an account I was trading. It wasn't a funded account or an eval. One day I was just on my demo account doing the live stream. We had a great day that day with signals. Yeah, that was a great day for signals. I think I did 5 in a row. 5 winners in a row. The longest one took 3 minutes. We made like $500. That was a sweet day. Wish every day was like that. That was great. Those signals were killer that day. Jeez, guys. I got to say it again. Thank you for the YouTube views. If you know anybody who needs this metrics, I know a lot of us are traders and we have circles of people we trade with. If you know anybody who needs the metrics, please send them my way. I am trying to be a high affiliate for them. And last couple weeks have been really good for that. So I had more sales last week than I did the month before. That's encouraging to me. So I want to keep that momentum. So thank you. That's a big thank you to you guys. My YouTube channel is kicking butt. I've ran some Google ads, and I cannot believe how many. I got a bunch of subs from it, and they're actual real-life people. They've actually emailed me. They engage with me, and there's a lot of new people I've met the last month or so. It's been exciting. It's an exciting time for my channel. For a small, just an idea I had as a one guy with a microphone that's had a bunch of bad experiences and switched over to futures and found something that works pretty well for him. That's the message I'm trying to put out there, and it's actually I've really got a good reach of that. It's been great. Been great. Oh, Tony, tell me all about it, brother. This is just floating. I want it to break this level and see if we can get some traction here. RSI is slowly raising, so I have hope. It was like 18. It went clear down to 11 half hour ago, and now it was 18 not too long ago. Now it's 23. So Cyclonic, what are you saying? I know how you can get the rest of your chart back. Hit hide twice. What do you mean? You mean if you want it to go blank? Or are you talking like when you first switch to a screen and this is cycling for a second, like buffering? Is that what you're talking about, Cyclonic? I think that's what you're talking about. I just got an email, guys. This is crazy. 14,000 views as of March 21st on my account. Now, to put that in perspective, and the reason that's exciting, and I mentioned that here in the stream, on March 5th, I have saved on my computer. In fact, I'll bring it up and I'll show you. See this right here? March 2nd, sorry. March 2nd. I'm signed up with YouTube, buddy, and it helps you edit videos and things like that. I hit 4,500 views, and I was excited about that because March 1st, I had like 1,000 views. So I more than tripled my views the first month, and then I just hit 14,000. So exponentially, this thing is going. I mean, you guys are engaging. You guys are showing this. You're sharing this. The Google ads I'm running is working. This is resonating with people, and it's exciting. It's actually really exciting. So thank you. It's a big thank you from me, and I hope the content is helping you. That's my big goal. I want the content to help you. So I want my channel to be a resource and an actual solid place to go, you know? All right, how do I find my... I want to show you. I need to pay for the boost, I guess, on there. But yeah, 14,000 views. That is just wild. So when you're signed up with the editing software I have, they give you these metrics, and they'll email you when you hit these milestones. There you go. You can see it right there. That's pretty impressive, guys. Going from January to March, tripling my numbers, and then from March, almost tripling them again. And we're not even all the way through March yet. So their ads are working, and the reach is getting there. What's that going to be like? Man, that'd be crazy if I can get to like 50,000 or 100,000. I mean, that's just wild to think about. Just absolutely wild to think about. But I love it. I mean, that's what I set out to do. That's what I set out to do. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to help some people. I do want to sell some. I'm not gonna lie. I want to make some money on the affiliates. I'm not trying to hide that at all. But this works. This is a good package. There's a good strategy here that's useful, and it's working daily. You know, I look at my videos. I think that's why my views are getting so high too. My videos show that repeatedly. It's great, absolutely great. Hit hide twice. No voice. Okay. Awesome, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I want that to be on the live stream. Voice is fine? Okay. Every now and again, I'll shut the mic off for just a sec if I need to blow my nose or cough real bad. I don't want to be hacking all over you guys. Hoping to get outside this weekend and get some weather and hopefully get some sun. It's going to be like almost 70 out here in Utah. So I might go on a hike, try and get outside a little bit. Got a lot of things going on in my life. I just need some sunshine and some fresh air. My daughter's birthday today. She's 20 years old. We're going to have a birthday party for her. What signals do I have on right now? Gold. I don't have gold on either one of those. That's interesting. But what shows right here, I must have it on the wrong. Oh, you know what? Got it. That's it. Going fishing tomorrow, huh? Sweet. Good for you. There's a little lake that we've been over to a couple times. My son's real big into fishing, my oldest son. And we went over there a couple weeks ago on my side-by-side, and it was frozen over still. Not real big ice fishermen. That lake is a little bit small, and the ice doesn't get very thick on there. So I did have a job out in Colorado where there's a bunch of guys ice fishing on like 3 feet thick of ice, and they were catching some big ones out there. But that'd be nice. Joe Shoes, thank you. Yeah. 628 today, huh? Dang, down. Sometimes happens. Absolutely, buddy. So what were you trading, Joe Shoe, if you don't mind sharing? Were you trading MES and NQ? I'll tell you, man, that's hard to trade. We took a loss on that stuff too. You know? That was crazy. Some of those big spikes were just nasty. So, brother, all of us had kind of a rough day, to be honest, man. A couple of us got out with a little bit of profit. I'm going to be break even, I think. I'm pretty close to break even right now. But we're getting pretty late in the day. Yeah, see that you guys see on that on the stream? 4,500 views a month ago. And it went all the way to 14,000. I just got the email today. Epic. Incredible. I'm going to post that on my channel when we're done here. I'm very proud of that, guys. I put a lot. I'll tell you what, man. To run a YouTube channel and do a live stream, there's a lot of work, guys. There's a lot of things you got to do. I really struggled, too. My first couple live streams, I struggled. I should have took more time and investigated that. I just kind of thought you hit live and go. There were some things I had to figure out. But it's a lot of work to run a channel and do all the things you got to do. And the marketing's expensive, too. It's really expensive. And it's got to be done correctly if you want it to be effective. So I learned a lot of things the last couple months, but yeah, I'm seeing that traction, and it's to you guys. Thank you. You know, you guys are what's helping me make it happen, and I appreciate that. I'd love it, honestly, man. I'd love it if I could do my full-time job just in here on YouTube. I wouldn't have to work anywhere or do anything else. I'd love it to just have funded accounts and make money off that. That'd be great. That'd be a dream come true for me. That'd be like going back 10 years in time when I actually was doing that. And I lost a bunch of money and I had to go work again. That sucked. And some of the jobs I've had since then have absolutely blown. I mean, just working for anybody else is terrible. After you've been self-employed and go and work for somebody else, it's really hard. I'll tell you right now, it's really hard. And it's not for what you think, not because you can be lazy. It's because I was in control of my money. And I could work all the hours I want, and I take on as many jobs as I want and do as much as I want, and I was in control. When you work for somebody else, that goes away. And your $19 an hour job is your $19 an hour job. And it's just really hard to go back to that after you've been self-employed. I've been self-employed twice, and I aim on being that again. That's what I'm hoping this will do. But you guys are helping my channel get there. I want the reach is getting there, and I appreciate that. Oh, come on, gold. Quit farting around and just raise. You're you're heading the right direction, but you're crawling. We would just like a brisk walk. That's all I'm asking for. You don't have to run. Just a brisk walk would be nice. I was going to be done trading 20 minutes ago, but I'm glad I didn't call it a zero because we're up a little bit. I'm almost to break even. I'm not gonna let this go back too far on us before I'll kill it. I'm thinking we'll get. I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm very confident that we're gonna get to this level here. So I'm gonna move my stop loss or my take profit to here. I'm gonna go in here, and it's already there. So we'll just leave that. I'm just gonna let it run. When it exits, we're done for the day. Move this one down just a teeny bit. And then I'm going to delete this chart because it's the wrong contract. The price is off. It's not the right price. There's less liquidity on this chart too because that contract. We'll get there, Tony. I'm really hoping this will get us there. I'm very optimistic. This is the most exciting thing I've seen since I was trading Forex heavy and doing that for a living. I first got married to my wife. I thought I was a hot shot trader, and I did really well. I did some really, really good stuff, but I was way too overconfident, way too cocky. And there was a lot of things I didn't know back then that I thought I didn't need to know. And now, looking back 10 years ago, I've learned so much. And those hard lessons helped me. You know what I mean? Losing that money helped me. What it did is it set me on a journey of discovery. And so I got trainings. I investigated. I didn't trade with real money for a while. I paid for trainings. I paid for learning. I wanted to understand what I didn't know that helped made that happen. So it was good in a way. And the potential for the earnings on this kind of stuff is incredible. We've got some good potential for earnings on this stuff. So what's cool about trading too is everybody has a different goal. So I imagine some maybe somebody that's disabled or cannot do a regular job or doesn't have enough money coming in their regular job, and they've got in a couple hours a day on a laptop, and they use this to get another $50 a day or $100 a day, you know. And then I think about people that are self-employed and have 5 accounts, and one of those accounts is a retirement account, one of those accounts is an expense account, and the other 2 accounts are their main accounts, you know. And good for them. They've made it. That's the goal. And they get to do whatever they want with their life, and they have plenty of income. They're not limited by an employer. You know what I mean? Employers limit you. I can't say enough about that. So it's been really hard to be self-employed and go back to working. And it's not because I want to be lazy. That has nothing to do with it. It's actually because I want more. I'm not really good with being limited. And trading can provide that. The sky's the limit. There is no limit. Man, when I was trading, we went on vacation after vacation. We had all kinds of toys, plenty of money in the bank. We did far better than we do these days. I want that back. I want that lifestyle back. That's why I'm doing this, putting so much effort into it. Oh, gold, you're really making me mad today. really wanted to get back to break even at least. Yeah, me too, Tony. Every factory job I've ever had, I hated it. And I only made a couple $100, if that. I had a really good job in Colorado. I made like 300 a day. 350 a day, depends on the overtime and stuff. But man, I hated it. I hated where I was. I hated what I had to do. I hated a lot of the people I work with, man. A lot of jerks out there. And they just unnecessarily. I mean, I'm real easy going. I'm a good guy to work with. I'm super easy going, but there's a lot of people out there that just don't care. All they care about is themselves. And it's funny to me when some operator's trying to flex on you and I made 100 and something thousand a year. They're like 300 pounds and they're the coolest thing since sliced bread. I'm like, yeah, I remember making 15 grand a day one time in 3 hours. Then I rode I didn't have a boss, so I could do whatever I want. I had like 100 grand in the bank. So yeah, that was fun. Okay, we're going to end the stream here in a bit. Yeah, I got to end the stream. I got to get some other things done today. Got a couple errands in town I need to run. So we're going to end the stream. Those guys that hung in there with us, that was a long stream. Thank you. We muddled through what we got to muddle through. We still have our account. That's good. Trading's not been as good today, but we still have an account. And depending on where this gold trade ends up, we'll at least be break even, if not a little bit higher, but at least be broke even. MES, MQ, let's just do a review real quick here. MQ was crazy. Earlier we thought this might buy to the beginning, the opening range, and it didn't. It sold pretty hard, so we jumped in on a sell, looking at our 1 hour time frame. We held this until I started seeing some weird things, and then it just spiked super hard against us. The metrics, sometimes these candles, even in the red, triple R, triple Gs, you still get a lot of movement the other way. I mean, we got out right around here. I'm really glad we did because this thing spiked super hard against us. So I was tempted to jump into that because I could see there's a lot of volume pushing that thing pretty fast. I mean, look at this. It went from 0 RSI to 2 candles. It was 37. So in 10 minutes, it went from 0 to 37. So it spiked pretty hard against us. I'm just really glad we got out when we did. We got out right here. We were hovering in profit a little bit. I was a little bit behind on MES. I added to my MES position. We were adding here. We were looking for some lower levels to crawl to. Just didn't work out. Some of these setups, you see the same setup over and over again, but they don't always pan out with the same result. And that's kind of what happened today. So this little scalp would have been a good one. This scalp wouldn't have worked for you. This scalp was a good one. This scalp wouldn't have worked. This scalp was a good one. So hit and miss on the signals today too. So I jumped over to gold. Got a gold trade going right now. It's just hovering at break even. Not much. To be honest with you, I should have canceled it 10 minutes ago and called it, but it's okay. It's okay. Some days. Chad, thanks for being here. It was good to see you. Good to meet you, talk with you a little bit. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat, like I said. If you know anybody in these metrics, the best thank you I could get would have you refer them to me. Get them to my channel. The link's in the description of every video I got. They can reach out to me personally, which I have a lot of people that do that these days. It's growing. It's growing. It's growing. And glad to answer questions, help you out. And let's get that money. Let's make that money together. So on that note, everybody that's still here, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the support on the channel. Thank you for your input on the stream. I really appreciate it. The chat feature is awesome. I really love the chat with you guys. I do listen to what you guys say. I appreciate your input. It's fun to get to know you guys a little bit. It's great. So everybody have a great weekend. We will catch you on Monday. I think I'll be able to stream on Monday. I don't think I have anything planned where I won't be able to.